I don't see anything. Okay, now I see stuff. How do I sound? People watching it. How's everything? Dirt, Negan.
I can't watch it and be in here.
Well, you can go on YouTube and you can, oh my god, Dirt. You do it.
I take orders from no mortal,
Hey, turn the
John
voice mod
Morgan.
off. God, we just went down, like one viewer.
Oh no!
Honorable assistance. Yeah, well, we're here today without Shabisky because Shab has started daycare streams where he's playing Fortnite with a bunch of kids. So that's his new shtick, his new thing. But I stayed up all night playing Civilization with JLV. Like, I insisted on going to bed, but he just demanded that I stay up all night with him and, like, watch stuff like The Machinist and so forth. And, yeah, so I definitely, I'm running on 2 nights without sleep. But because Shab has been a flaky co-host, I am going to show that I can provide more, like I guess, dynamic dialogue and rhetoric than Shab can when Shab has all his sleep. Yes.
It's not a competition, G.
Yes, it is. So how's everything look?
It looks fantastimal.
How's
Fantastical,
it sound?
fantabulous.
Can they hear us? Can they hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sure it sounds great.
Good.
Okay. First story. Let's get started.
Man fatally shot his wife, but was sentenced to only 10 years in prison. Now there's anger at the all-female jury. We warn you, this
Are you
video
sharing
is
it?
intense.
It's a
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta leave.
Share. Okay, share video. See, I'm all disoriented.
See,
Yeah.
criticize Shabisky, but he'd have this shit figured jiffy.
Well, hey, I'm working the OBS while also doing the.
I gotta leave and rejoin.
What's that?
I have to leave and rejoin because I don't see.
Do you see it, Dirt? Excellent layout. Is the layout better than Shab's layout?
No.
It's not? You think it's
No.
worse?
Well, it's there. Well, John, I don't know. Pull up your phone. Take a look. Take a look. See what you know.
I never.
acting like
Okay,
jealousy
so
stands
I gotta
in-
go on a little rant here. People need to stop using their phones to watch stuff. Now it's like how the algorithms work. Is you gotta cater to the phone audience. People start using desktops again. That's how we did things when I was a kid. And I'm getting to the point where I'm almost 30 and I don't like change. Change is evil because I just have to like get to that point eventually where I'm set in my ways, and people need to stop doing things differently. Compare the decade that I grew up in, that's how things are meant to be. That's when everything peaked in quality, and now it's just going downhill. All the stuff before the decade I grew up in, that's too old and stuff and too antiquated, and now, yeah. People need
So
to
what
stop.
you're saying is you're just old.
No, I'm not old yet.
Dude.
I'm still in my 20s. I still
Check
got
out
like
Baloney
1.4
Soprano.
years left. What's that?
Check out Baloney Soprano on this fucking screen here with his pump shotty.
Baloney Soprano.
But here, I gotta look at my phone here. I'll play it.
his driveway. 60-year-old Carrie Birmingham is wearing only a robe, and that shotgun he's holding, it's aimed right at his wife, Patricia.
You really want this on video? I'll pull it. I'm mad enough to just pull it. You're a neighbor. Gonna see you just point your gun at me.
Is that like Pimp Monk's brother?
Alright, goodbye, Bruce.
Gene, because you added the stream, you need to reformat what it looks like on OBS, because that's what I try to draw your attention to it, because the audience cannot see the people, Gene. See, look, if you had Shabisky here, he would be able to save you this
I
trouble.
blame you guys. Okay, what's it?
You know, you're right. I do blame Shabisky. He's too busy
I blame
hanging out
her.
with his cool new Fortnite friends.
His daycare.
Yes.
You
How's
guys
it
are
look
just-
now? And now it's not showing the video. Why is that? Oh, I think it's because it
It rips the source.
yeah. Oh crap.
Well, look, it kind of looked straight. If you
No,
if you
I'm
just-
just gonna not share the video, or I'm gonna. God, how are we gonna do this now?
Here's the idea, John. Here, can you, when you click to make the video full screen, right, on Discord, to make that the biggest picture, can you just expand that scene on OBS, that source, drag it down so it shows the rest of us? Because I have it right now, it clips off. Okay. And if you can just do that, fuck it, I'll call it good enough.
Let's see. How do things look now?
Honestly, I know that's fine, I guess. Right, fuck it. Towards the middle is better. I know it does leave that black space at the bottom, but we're working on all cinder blocks here, as some individuals
we're firing
might
all
say.
cinder blocks.
It's covered up by the chat, though. When you put it in the middle, you got to put it like towards the top, under where the donation goal is.
I gotta put what in the top?
From the top, make it drop.
I think it's in a good place now where it is.
Okay. What about the GIF background?
Who cares about the GIF background, John? We're the content.
Wait, now it says that the video's in,
times in the face.
You may have to open Discord back up in order to see it from that source once you hit play. These are just the foibles we're working with.
Oh my god.
I've seen this video before.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was 3 times in the face.
Jeez, I don't know.
The evidence was rock.
It says your stream is running. We've paused the video. God, how are
so look, if you play it if you hit play on Google Chrome, then open Discord back up while that's still playing, you should be able to watch it here on Discord with us.
Okay. This man fatally shot his wife, but was sentenced to only 10 years in prison. Now there's anger at the all-female jury.
Perfect.
We warn you, this video is intense.
It's a chilling moment as a husband driven mad with jealousy stands in his driveway. 60-year-old Carrie Birmingham is wearing only a robe, and that shotgun he's holding, it's aimed right at his wife, Patricia.
You really want this on video? I'll pull it. I'm mad enough to pull it. Your neighbors are going to see you point your gun at me. Right,
so, do you think it's just alcohol?
And with that, he pulls the trigger, shooting Patricia 3 times.
No, they said it was jealous. Something about jealousy or something.
No. Yeah, but the point is, he's shooting her in broad daylight when she's, like, filming him. So, what do you think he's on where he's going to commit, like, a pretty bold and careless and crass crime like this?
Could be alcohol. It could just be the adrenaline fueled by a crime of passion in progress, John.
See, if you want to murder somebody, you need to add more cadence to it. Don't blow somebody's brains out with a shotgun in broad daylight.
Yeah, don't just say,
yeah,
he said goodbye, bitch. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
In the face.
You want to make sure they disappear, and you want to make sure to get all the forensic evidence out of the way.
Was rock solid. After all, every moment of the murder outside Houston was captured on video. Birmingham.
Make sure you use a Tor browser. And make sure you use a proxy server, and make sure you go to somebody else's house in a different state when you do all the research on how to hide all the evidence when you do the unaliving crimes.
Pled guilty. The motive for shooting his wife? He says he was in a state of rage because he had learned his wife was allegedly having an affair. But her family says that's simply not true.
The defense wasn't about justification. It was about why he did what he did.
The evidence was presented to the 12-member jury, which, and this rarely happens, consisted entirely of women. In a surprising turn, they allegedly sympathized with the wife killer, sentencing him to 10 years instead of the 20 years prosecutors wanted. Jury consultant Joellen Demetrius.
What this says to me about...
So, Taylor, you're our having a Y chromosome representative here. So this was an all-woman jury. Initially, I'd think that would show a bias against the person who is being held on trial, but it seems like all the women pitied him. So does this show that women have too much empathy?
Yeah, women definitely have a lot of empathy. I'm not gonna lie.
So do you think men lack empathy?
A little bit.
A little bit? Do you think I
hey,
lack empathy?
listen. What
yes,
hey, listen.
Yes, you definitely lack empathy, John.
Really? Okay, so out of everyone here, who is the most empathetic, and who is the least empathetic? Who's the most apathetic?
Negan is the most and you are the least.
Really?
I think it's funny that like
I think I got plenty of
even
empathy. No, go ahead.
even though all the women or all the jury members were women, like women still can't be on the side of team women, even though one of them gets unalive.
Dude, women hate each other. Whenever we have crazy women in the community that have to go, and I'll admit it's mostly men, like usually the people that are crazy that need to be shit canned are the men, but when we have the crazy like woman in the internet community that we need to can, usually the other women in the community don't defend them at all. It's usually like a handful of guys simping and white knighting. So I noticed that formula or whatever. So when a guy acts out, it seems like when they act crazy, pretty much all the men and women are like, yeah, this person needs to go. When a woman acts out, pretty much all the women are like, this person needs to go. Most of the men will be like, this person needs to go. But there's always at least like 4 or 5 simps. Any follow-up commentary there? Okay.
Well,
thanks.
That the all-female
I think you guys are wrong.
They clearly
Whoa.
heard and saw something in that
Can you guys
video
hear me?
that made them feel
Yes.
sorry
Yes.
for Mr. Birmingham.
I
Whatever
think
that
you
is.
guys
The slain
are
woman's sister.
wrong. I think it depends. I think it depends on the person. I don't think it depends on what race or sex you are to have a certain amount of empathy. I think it depends on how you are raised and how you handle yourself.
So it's genetic and environmental factors. But isn't it easier to just put people in groups based on things like race and gender and hair color and stuff? And then find
I don't
correlations
know.
between the things?
I don't know. The only thing I know about differences in races is this book called The Bell Curve, where it talks about, I guess, yeah. So the people read that in college, and I guess it's like one of those books that presents examples of differences between Asian students, black students, white students, and other like.
Okay, never mind. I feel uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about this eugenics stuff. Let's continue the video.
Mary Dees says the family was shocked at the jury's decision.
I believe that they were judging my sister, that my sister did not beg for her life, and she stood strong against a man that supposedly loved her for 20 years, and,
Now, do you think his happy trails is just, like, being exposed a little bit? Or do you think he's just not wearing any pants at all? He came out just in nothing but...
Go back. Let me see the blur.
Yeah, dirts are, like, genital analysis here. What's that?
He's absolutely rocking out with his cock out.
Oh.
No, he's wearing underwear. You can see the gray. He's wearing dark gray underwear.
Okay.
supposedly loved her for 20 years and, killed her, executed her.
As for the affair allegation,
he claimed it was in his head that my sister was cheating on him, and they took the computers,
Dude, like Bill Hicks, I got 1,000,001 stuff going on here. I gotta, manage my lack of sleep, and then the, video not really correlating well with, the Discord, and I gotta deal with working the Discord while providing the commentary. There's a lot of stuff I need to juggle. But Bill Hicks is like, okay, don't read chat then. Great job.
Bill Hicks would prefer it if you raised the viewing portion of the vertical stream to the top half.
Oh, okay.
Vertical stream. That's Bill Hicks's recommend. Is that, did you say Hicks's or Bill Hicks? It's just Bill Hicks' recommendation. There's a Hicks's. Bill Hicks's.
Yes.
Fucking no, dude.
I have a cousin with last name Hicks.
the phones, and
It's Hicks's.
there's no proof of that ever happening.
we also spoke to the couple's 18-year-old daughter, Olivia.
My love for my dad died that day. Even if he's still alive, it's when I look at him, it's not the same person. And of course, he took my mom.
Birmingham will be eligible for parole in 5 years.
God damn, son.
That's
I feel
crazy.
really sorry for the daughter. See, I got empathy, Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for her too. I think it's crazy that he can get out within 5 years for fucking killing somebody, but somebody attempts to kill somebody and they get like a life sentence.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what I think we need to do. I'm gonna give you the link to the playlist, Dirt, and I want you to share your screen.
That's not a bad idea. That might save you some headache. Okay. Then I get to control the pause and the play.
Apparently it's probably gonna make it
It's your plan all along.
How do I change it?
Oh no, Gene. You might have to go to your playlist library and edit it. Yeah.
Talk to the chat and everything.
Talk to the chat. Bill Hicks is thanking me for my service. You're welcome, Bill Hicks. I do what I can when and where I can. That's about it. Hey, Chevy. Haven't talked to Chevy yet. What's up, buddy? Cheers, buddy. Is that a whiskey glass you sent in there? I don't got no liquor today, but I'm drinking beer.
This man fatally shot his wife, but was sentenced to only 10 years in prison.
See some shit.
Show of a stream. Okay, unlist it. And then...
This man fatally shot his wife, but was sentenced to only 10 years.
Okay. Here's the playlist, Dirt.
Wow, thank you, John.
See, we're figuring things out. Oh, and I'm sharing the DMs right now. We're learning. Maybe people are entertained by us screwing everything up.
I am.
But I need...
I blame Tubby.
I'm not gonna be good at it either.
I blame all of our problems from birth to now on Tubby. Totally tubular.
I did it.
Safe bet.
All my fault. I messed up the Discord. It's all my fault.
You are that malicious.
What's the keyframe thing? In here, let me... how do I duplicate the source? Oh, copy... So are you sharing your screen, Dirt?
Not yet, John. Well, I have an ad blocker, so we're just going to roll with that. I don't have an ad blocker. It's fine.
Install one.
We got an hours-long standoff in Trenton, New Jersey. That's not far from where I was born.
Okay,
oh,
full
shuck.
screen, 1.5 speed. And wait one sec. I'm going to try to... Like, I got 2 Discords. Or no. Wait.
I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Adios, Nigan. Que tengan buena noche. Hasta mañana.
Okay. So now... No.
Havaya Ota.
Baby Yoda.
Let's bring that up there. And let's take this, and then I'm going to go to the grid view. And then...
Hi, my name is what? My name is who? My name is John Morgan.
No, maybe... Wait, is it... There, maybe that's better. Talk to the chat, everyone.
Hello, everyone. You must be in the chat. Well, if I'm talking to you, you must be. Let's see. I gotta fix my situation here because, you know, now I'm using my screen for other things. As a viewer, I just keep just thinking of what will make the As a viewer, just think of what will make the viewers happy, Gene. Just think about it, Gene.
is it?
We're a little squished down here, dude. Oh, you just turned everything black. Oh no, that's just my phone being stupid.
Talk to the chat.
The chat's not talking to me. All right, look, I'll strike up a conversation. Chevy, how the fuck are you, man? What have you been doing today? Huh? I was scrolling through these YouTube streams one time, and I saw you were in a Trumpster Bob chat, and you were the only one in that chat. Well, so good on you, man. You know, everybody needs company from time to time. Well, my cat just fucking spilled my beer everywhere, and it's foaming everywhere. I'll be back.
Okay, how does this look now? Does it look any better?
Looks good.
Now Dirt's not here to play the video.
It's okay. We have like hours ahead, right? So it'll get better.
I blame Shabisky. Well, at least we have 10 viewers now. And then it's talking about this keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Is anyone else experiencing problems with some kind of keyframe?
Nope, everything's working a-okay on my end.
Okay. Well, here, maybe more people should get on camera. See, now Dirt's worse than Shab, walking away.
Oh, yeah, Dirt's worse than Shab, because Dirt has an issue the one time you asked Dirt to do anything. All right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Fucking John Morgan just out for blood today.
Oh, now I screwed it up.
Cleaning beer off my $400 drawing tablet, John.
Play the video.
All right, John.
Long standoff in Trenton, New Jersey has just come to an end. Police say a man who was believed to be barricaded inside a home is now in custody. He's accused of shooting and killing 3 of his relatives in nearby Levittown, Pennsylvania. SWAT teams had surrounded the home in Trenton where authorities thought 26-year-old Andre Gordon was inside. Just a short time ago, he was found.
Okay, pause. Do you think he had a better reason for murdering one of his relatives compared to the guy in the previous video? Yeah.
I think it really depends.
Depends. Dirt, what do you think the reason is?
I don't know. You think they'll say?
Maybe. Okay, play it.
He apparently escaped the perimeter around the home before it was set up. Early this morning, investigators say Gordon shot and killed his 52-year-old stepmother and his teenage sister in Levittown. He then allegedly drove to another home where he shot and killed the 25-year-old mother of his children. Police say he then carjacked a driver at gunpoint and fled to Trenton. Again, authorities say they now have Gordon in custody. A motive has not yet been determined.
Hi, I'm Jay.
Huh. I'm Becky. Oh my God.
This is Jay and Becky. What do you think about Jay and Becky?
Turn the volume off. Mute it when Okay, next vid.
Man, am I getting the fucking pay raise for this one, John? You're asking a lot of me tonight.
I don't know. Why don't you have an ad blocker? I mean, come on, Dirt. It's 2020, like 4.
Wow, you know, I have a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends who are YouTubers, John. You know, I think some of them get supported by ad revenues. So I'm just doing my part, John. Why do you have an ad blocker?
Because I don't like watching ads.
Oh yeah, John just doesn't have time for that. Anyways, more about the New Jersey Trenton standoff.
On the scene, unfortunately, our cameras missed the actual moment of capture. What do we know about how he was brought into custody?
Hey, Austin. Well, after an hours-long barricade situation, the man accused of killing 3 people in Bucks County is under arrest. But get this, police say he was never actually even in that barricade and said that he escaped that area before they even put that perimeter out. But to kind of break down exactly what happened, I heard you giving our viewers a timeline. This all started early this morning. We actually spoke to a woman that says that she was the first carjacking victim here in Trenton, and that was right before 9 a.m.
So if they're having a standoff with him, like, pause it, Dirt.
That also was in the car at that time.
If they're having a standoff with him, don't you think it would have been efficient to send in a kamikaze drone? Deal with it.
Yeah, just blow it up.
Well, they need, I don't know, some kind of drone that it comes in and it sprays some kind of like tear gas, but maybe it has some kind of like concussive like kind of detonation. So if they shoot at it, it's close enough. it will like knock them off their feet. What do you think of that? I got to design this drone and pitch it. It's probably a good thing.
From what I know, I don't know. I think there needs to be non-lethal weaponry attached to drones for these situations where we can bring criminals to justice without bringing them to meet their maker.
Beanbag machine guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Play the video.
She broke down how that happened, and she couldn't believe what happened after she was carjacked. Now, what police say is after, again, his name, Gordon, Andre Gordon, after he carjacked that woman early this morning, he then went over to Bucks County, and police say he killed his 13-year-old sister, as well as his stepmother, who was in her 50s. Police say he then went over to the home of the mother of his 2 children, and he shot and killed her, and then he also reportedly injured her mother with his rifle. Now, she's in the hospital recovering.
Okay, they're not giving any info on why he did it, what his motive is. So yeah, he killed his family. Yet another mass shooter. But do you think these mass shootings are kind of happening a bit too often?
Well,
Negan left, so we can't talk to them about
why aren't they showing the mugshot or the picture of the criminal?
They did. Or at least in the thumbnail or at the beginning.
Yeah. Is there more to this video?
Yeah, there's 7 minutes, but Dirt, scroll over like the timeline and see if it's more than just her talking.
It's her and another guy talking. It's this lady talking.
Okay.
Wonder what this lady's got to
Let's see
say.
what she's got to say.
Daughter's house, and when I was on my way to my daughter's house, I pulled to the side, park until she came outside so we could go to church. So my grandson and me were in the car, and somebody was pounding on my window. I looked, and I rolled down my window, and I said yes. And I said, "What do you want?" And he said, "Get out the car." And then I figured he had a bag on the side of him, so he rolled up the window. I rolled up the window. And when I rolled up the window, he started banging on my window with the back of the gun. And when he seen that, he jumped out the car and started running. Then I jumped over the seat, and I started running. And then all we could see is he sped off.
See, like, why didn't he have a getaway plan from the get-go? Like, why did he have to, like, jack somebody's car? So, Dirt, when I start talking...
Yeah, John, I got a million things going on over here. I'm dealing with sleep deprivation. I got all this stuff going on with the stream.
Oh my goodness, me too. But I will say, Gene, it's I don't think there's any choice of an escape plan when you go from here, when you go to point A to point B for two different targeted locations. It's like, you won't. There's no time for escape. So yeah.
Well, what you need is a vehicle on standby, and then when they send the helicopter after you, you need to drive like close to an airport, because then it's like a no-fly zone, so they're not able.
The guy who did this probably like went completely postal. Like his whole life was just ruined. This, that, dealing with this, dealing with that, dealing with this, and then the economy is bad, and then it's like everyone's suffering, but some people just snap, and knows what made him snap to do this horrific crime. Nobody deserves any of this.
Yeah,
all right.
He could have snapped, but also like you got sociopathy, and we covered like the dark triad or whatever. Like you got Dirt was there when we did that, and we did like there's Machiavellianism, narcissism, and sociopathy. And when it comes to, or psychopathy, but people who are sociopaths, so like antisocial personality disorder, they don't apply a lot of like cadence to their actions. They just get kind of angry in the heat of the moment, punch somebody in the face, they get mad, something really goes bad, so they just start shooting things up. So I think maybe it's that. Maybe he wasn't Machiavellian enough. He was too on like the other end of the dark triad spectrum. More of like the
or
sociopathy.
or
He could've
or
snapped.
he's or he was addicted to drugs, never had money, was a complete idiot, wasted himself away on drugs and ruined his life, and then became a psychopathic killer. Like, you'll never know. That's why when you asked what do you think the reason is, which reason do you think is worse before we watch this video, the thing is you can never tell, because first of all, nobody deserves to die. Second of all, these
What about Hitler?
every situation is different. Oh yeah, Hitler dead always. He's everyone hates him.
What about Jim Jones?
I don't know. You know, there. I believe in the death penalty. I believe the guy who did this should be put to death.
I don't really support the death penalty, but what about Logan Paul? Okay, maybe we shouldn't joke about that. Never mind. In Minecraft. Next
What
vid.
about Jim Carrey? Next vid.
Yes.
Say that he was uninjured and they were able to take him in.
You just have to click you see in the lower left-hand corner.
Bum 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 bum. The vid will play soon, dude. Calm down. Curology. Find it out.
Okay, here.
Ahead, this guy is pulling up to a traffic light. Ahead is a gray pickup truck.
What are we doing?
With his dog at his side, Thomas Brocuglio honks his horn, trying to get the driver in front of him to make a turn.
What's gonna happen?
What happens next is hard to believe. The peeved pickup driver gets out of his vehicle and walks over to the van. A nasty confrontation ensues.
You're the one sitting on your phone doing other things. That wasn't on my phone. Really? No, I wasn't. Yeah, I saw you looking down doing everything else.
Then this happened. Look again. The dog seems to instinctively know his master is about to get sucker punched. The victim
Now,
calls
do you think
911.
he's just one of the few bad apples, Dirt?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I've had some not road rage interactions. I mean, you know, because I mean, it is what it is. I'll fucking get angry if a motherfucker's doing some shit, but nobody's ever stopped me at a stoplight. Can't say I see this shit every day. So yeah, I'd say this is a bad apple.
Now, do you think that he's the anomaly when it comes to the police? I kind of think.
No.
Was he a cop?
Yeah. It's a cop. He can just do whatever the fuck he wants. He's got.
Where did it say this guy was a cop?
It says off-duty police officer punches driver. In the
Oh,
face.
okay. I didn't read the title,
Well,
John. I got spoilers.
You want to know what I think, Gene?
What's that?
I think that cops deal with so much heinous and sick shit every single day. Like, cops see it all. Like, cops are some of the few people other than, like, EMS people who have seen it all. Okay? And the thing is I always sympathize with cops because, you know, their job is hard. Like, they have to keep everyone safe from each other. In this
On the
crazy
other
fucking
hand,
loud
Did you know
world.
that statistically, if you're married to a cop, you're more likely to be a victim of spousal abuse, as opposed to being married to somebody of any other occupation?
And
Okay.
in direct refutation
well-
to what? Okay.
Okay, well, what if you know, I don't know. I don't know. I hear that all the time, and it's like so stupid. Like, not all cops
Not all
aren't out there
cops.
beating their wives.
But the thing is,
Yeah,
it is a
not
very
all
large
cops.
percentage. And the thing is, it kind of shows that maybe there's a certain personality type that's kind of attracted to a job that gives people a decent amount of power and authority. So you don't think that certain people who
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that cops deal with so much, and then not only that, they have to worry about their families. Like, I think that there's a lot more to being a cop than people actually think of. Everyone sees George Floyd and they're like, "Oh my God, cops are evil. Cops will just kill you." Like, there's people out in the streets that'll kill you for 5 cents. So, I love cops. I'll never hate cops. By the way, I'm sorry.
Well,
Wait, Dirt has something
So
to say.
sleep deprived.
In direct refutation to what Ruby had said, he said he always sympathizes for cops. I never sympathize for cops because honestly, they signed up for that job and they should know what that duty entails. And if they can't handle it and their stress results in them breaking down and attacking the citizens that they are paid and sworn to defend, then you're in the wrong fucking gig, buddy. Time to move on. And, open the road for some fresh blood to get in there. Who can maybe keep their fucking hands off the trigger finger and can tell a fucking taser from a pistol.
I disagree. When you look at New York City's cop, I'm so tired. When you look at the police department of New York City versus the police department of anywhere in like Alabama or Texas, like it's way safer. It's way safer over there than it is in New York City or Chicago. Once you dismantle the police force, which was honestly Hitler's main goal. Like
I don't think Hitler's main goal was to
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
No,
Yes,
he
yes,
had the
yes, it was.
Gestapo, and it was a fascist
No.
government, very authoritarian. So if it was anything, it was to
No, no.
exasperate the police force.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You can look it up. It's out there, and anyone in the comments. And anyone in the comments.
When it comes to World War II, and
I'm sure when Hitler rose to power, he was probably preaching a lot about reform and how he would make things better.
The Hitler's goal for a brand new society was to dismantle the police force, and once you start doing
replace
that,
it with another type of police
hey,
force.
hey, once you dismantle the police force, you get violence like in Chicago.
I don't think Hitler was promoting anarchy. He was promoting authoritarianism and totalitarianism, and he probably dismantled what they had as like a police force prior to the police force that he installed, but it's just semantics. Like, you can call it the Inquisition, you can call it the like regional National Guard, you can call it the peacekeepers, the ministry of like the Ministry of Truth, the Ministry of Love and Affairs. You can call it whatever you want. It's still some kind of law enforcement agency.
Hey,
Gene.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Gene, these are his words. Those are Hitler's words, not mine. So
yes, trusted source Hitler.
You're shooting the messenger right now.
Okay, but Hitler wasn't for dismantling law enforcement or some kind of force that enforces some kind of laws and policies. He was for kind of exasperating that kind of like element of society, or that kind of I guess particular institution in society, to make it even more fascist, to give it even more power. And in fact, like he supported Plato's law, which was that government should be the like pretty much the politicians, the police, and then the people. That 3-tier system, and it's that kind of feudalistic system. You got the lords, the people on top, then you got the knights and so forth that oppress everybody, and then you got the peasants, and that was pretty much Hitler's system, and it was the same system that Pol Pot and like Stalin and all the great dictators, great killers had. And the thing is, a lot of people that defend police brutality, they make that argument that they're cops, the people that were being brutalized, they should have been more compliant, and I don't think that police officers can just do whatever they want and just go gloves off and be as violent as they please because somebody isn't being absolutely compliant. And you'll see scenarios where the person not being absolutely compliant, it can be something as mundane as them rolling their eyes at the cop and just being somewhat rude. And it's like, if you're working customer service and you're dealing with rude customers, you can't just beat the shit out of them. You can't tase them. You can't tackle them on the floor. If you're a cop and you're pulling somebody over to write them a ticket, write them the ticket. If they want to be like just rude and roll their eyes at you, as long as they're compliant enough where they, I've never received a ticket when I was driving, but As long as you sign off on like the like papers that they give you, and you like actually take the ticket that they give you and so forth. It's one thing if you're tearing up the ticket or you're driving off or you're not being compliant at all, that I can understand them arresting you. But something is just you being somewhat belligerent and having some sort of like smarmy tone with them. I don't think that entitles them to arrest you or whatever because you're not kissing their feet. And you see plenty of cases like that where cops will arrest people just because they're not being like absolutely just subservient and treating them like they're some Uber citizen. Okay, next vid.
Uh-oh, before we start the next vid, and I want to finish and see how this one plays out.
Okay.
We are currently being rated by Shabisky. Thank you to all of those Shabisky viewers who are coming on over.
I don't know. With Shab, I don't know how you do share your video in Discord while also being able to like share it with OBS. I need to ask him how that works.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But thank you, Shabisky. And thank you, Tay Jr. and all these other new people like Isaac and the other guy.
Police found the suspect at home, and guess what? He turns out to be a cop himself. Corporal Alan Ganter of the Meriden, Connecticut PD.
Fucking shit-eating pig. My fault. I fucked up.
Yeah. Wait. Pulse of dirt. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but go back. Look at the image.
Yeah, Officer Porky.
Police found the suspect at home, and guess what? He turns out to be a cop himself. Corporal Alan
Okay,
Ganter
pause. So that is the typical, like, buzz cut. You're, like, wearing your polo shirt in front of, like, the grill, and it's, like, somebody isn't being, like, you're not, like, being a real man and stuff if you don't just watch football and drink beer at a cookout, and if you have other hobbies outside of these, like, 2 or 3 hobbies, then you're not doing life properly. And it's just, they're those kind of fucking pigs. And it seems like those kind of... And I know, like, one thing they do is they typically bar cops if their IQs are too high. Because people, if their IQs are too high, they're more likely to think critically and use logic and reasoning. And they want cops to use their gut.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a shit show. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Officer Porky. My fault.
They took photos of his hands for signs of the sucker punch. He quickly fesses up.
My fault for not having self-control.
Oh.
So what?
I
That's
wonder-
it? What did he... What?
Yeah.
Any charges? Anything? Any fucking consequences for Officer
suspended
Porky?
with
You can't
pay.
fuck... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm fucking sure. No, he wasn't actually being a cop when he did that, so really it's got nothing to do with
Well,
him being a cop.
that's another thing where it's like, I don't think cops should have police status when they're off duty. I think once they clock out and they're not they're not working their hours, then they're not a cop anymore. They're a citizen. So I don't like that concept of they still have police power and police status if they get involved in some dispute off duty. That just kind of instills the uber citizen complex, like you're a knight, other people are the peasants, and you're knighted, so people need to treat you as if you're deserving of some greater level of respect because you're some absent-minded dumb fuck. And it's just, cops are really, the average cop, typically, they aren't a very, eclectic kind of person. They usually are, what I described, the polo shirt, at a cookout, kind of misogynist, man cave sort of, enforcing, douchebag. And it's these people run an obstacle course, and it's something like 90-something% of police officers have less than, a 4-year college education. And something like 50% don't have any higher education. And it's just, you see these, scenarios constantly, and they need to stop, I don't know, they need to be a citizen like everyone else when they're off duty. And if they want to intervene in some kind of, affair, then it's a citizen's arrest. They need to call the police like everyone else. And then if somebody isn't kissing their ass when they intervene in a citizen's arrest, they don't have the right to be like, I'm a cop, you gotta respect me. I'm gonna slam your face on the concrete. But go ahead, play this video.
Yeah, FTP, whatever. Sorry.
Oh, I gotta fix the...
レンタル何もしない人っていう仕事で、自分を貸し出すっていう、僕を貸し出すんですけれども、僕は何もしない。ただ食べたり飲んだりっていう飲食と、ごく簡単な受け答え、何か聞かれたことには少し答えるっていう、簡単な受け答えはしますけど、それ以外は特に何もしないっていうサービスをしています。
What are they saying, Dirt?
Dude, it beats the fuck out of me. I honestly had something covering the like half the subtitles.
Okay, next vid.
It's only 2 minutes long, John.
Dude,
Man.
message Shad.
Japanese man rents
him
himself out.
It's talking about something on...
Oh, I've seen this guy!
Well, wait, Dirt. It's talking about, like, this keyframe issue. Like, with the stream. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less.
Is that OBS?
No, it's on YouTube.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't...
I mean, everything looks fine here, and I've never fucking... I've never fucking heard no shit about no keyframe. I know keyframes from animation, but I've never fucking YouTube keyframe, but... Anyways, this guy, yeah, he like, basically, it's not like, I don't know if it's like a Fiverr thing or like a Craigslist kind of thing they have, but like, literally, he's just like, yeah, I will be a guy that will be there. I mean, he offers nothing in particular. He's just a person for rent. And I guess this guy rented him to help visit his friend's grave that he couldn't bear to visit.
Okay, next vid.
Yeah. 2 words: free pizza from Pizza Hut. Act now.
Oh, here's a Skyrim NPC in real life.
Dude, I mean, hold up. I thought the neighborhood was supposed to be an inclusive space. I mean, I don't know what this guy's doing.
Well, he's preaching a bunch of Christian homophobic propaganda. He's trying to save people from... But she doesn't go about addressing it in the most ideal way.
Yeah, I mean, if I've known to talk shit to these people. It's easier when I'm in a car because when I'm not, when I'm in a car, I can just say some shit and drive past. But when I'm not, I have to engage those motherfuckers in conversation. There's one time I was doing an Oktoberfest thing with my friends, and I was drunk as shit. There's 2 preachers standing on either side of the road, and they were just fucking hollering at the fucking people, and they were twin brothers or twins. And literally, I'm listening to their bullshit and talking about this is a den and a festival of sin. You must repent and that kind of shit. So I'm in the middle of the road right between them, and I say, let not these wolves in sheep's clothing lead ye astray. And my friends were like, I don't fucking know this guy. And they kept walking. And I kept on for a minute. And I walked away. They were just staring at my ass. And I'm like, okay, joke's over. Yeah, fuck these people that go out and do this preachy bullshit. Yeah. Fucking, you're going to burn in hell.
This
fire
is a
and
scenario where no parties really look good. She doesn't really pick the most ideal way to try to like order off like this kind of unwanted presence. But play the video.
We need Jesus, man.
Dude, it is kind of like an actual Skyrim NPC. I like how she goes the default pose right after she's done screaming.
And then the stock scream dialogue plays again.
Yeah. Are you filming me? Are you filming me right now?
He can give you a new heart. God can give you a new heart so that you love what God loves. No.
That's I just remember that other like Skyrim NPC in her life video. She also was a pink-haired-eyed like kid, and it's like, what's with the pink and purple blue hair dye? That they put something in that dye that causes some kind of brain damage. It seeps into their cranium, and it's like something akin to like lead poisoning. I don't know. They gotta, people need to stop, whatever the most like mainstream, most common hair dye that these people use, they need to stop using it. It causes some kind of unhinged, neurotic sort of behavior.
Dude, listen to what she says here. She goes, just listen.
He can save you. He can give you a new heart. God can give you a new heart so that you...
Oh my god, fuck this guy. As soon as he starts talking, like, I mean, that's the thing. As soon as he starts talking, it's like, oh my god, I forgive her. Like, she's acting crazy, but this guy's a piece of shit. But then once she starts talking, it's like, oh my god, she's such a piece of shit.
It's a cringe war. It's funny. It's like it's
the cringe off.
Yeah, it's, you know, I mean, whatever. Like, I'm sure they're both decent people if you sit down and have a drink with them or whatever. But the problem is they're so fucking caught up in what's all going on, fucking all this division we're faced with, and why the otherism, why I should hate you or why I don't approve of your life because of whatnot and who out, whatever. Like, if people are so caught up in that bullshit, they're probably both decent people aside from all this shit. But I like what she said there. She said, you know what's saving me? Screaming at you.
No, that's irrational.
Here, I'm gonna.
That's irrational.
Ask Shab in his live stream to pop in here on his stream for a sec to help me work out some OBS like glitches.
Secret spot.
Oh no, Gene.
So here, talk to the chat, Dirt.
All right, chat. Where is it at? You know, I ain't said nothing for a while. I mean, Skep was trying to hire that Japanese man to take a poop for him. It's, you know, it's one idea. Chevy's just happy to be here.
Name code.
Do they hear Shab on my end?
Can you join?
I don't hear Shab.
You on my friends
Let me
list?
see.
I just told him we need to try to get him in here.
Yeah, they hear
This
Shab.
is why I need to produce it.
Or whatever.
Okay, you need to stop being a dork.
It's no big deal, dude. Everything looks fine.
What is
Everything's
the
fine.
issue you're having?
Whatever. I think he can
Tell
come in
me.
and help me on.
Gosh, you're a lot of work.
Yes, he needs to get in here.
I'm gonna mute them. What's the issue? Am I going?
Wait, are you Shab in here, or am I hearing him on stream? Okay, so it's like on OBS, I'm not able to play the video on OBS while also like sharing my screen on Discord. Yeah.
I normally play it through Discord.
Yeah.
Don't you? And I also capture it through Discord to play on the thing. So the same way you're capturing everybody's faces, make another thing like that and capture the video that you're playing for everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'm doing that with Dirt playing it, but how can I do it where I share the video and I also
Yeah, he's running into that thing where when he doesn't have Discord as the focus, it says stream pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you need to not it's because if it's like minimized and stuff like that, it does that. I think that's what you're talking about. Like the page that has all the screens and stuff, it needs to be like, if it gets like minimized or anything like that, it will not show it correctly. Everybody's frozen. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, it says when we share it on like if I'm on if I click to play the YouTube video on my browser, then it says on Discord for the people that are watching it that the video is paused.
Yeah, like the gray screen where it says stream paused on Discord.
Yeah.
Well,
so here, let me.
Well, so this whole time you've been doing what I'm saying, where you're capturing it from Discord to play it on stream?
Yeah.
Okay, then go away from that. capture the window. Do a window capture of
That's what we were doing before. Here, let me.
I'm just not a good. I'm not a good enough Shabisky, apparently. You know.
Yes.
And then just fit it to that. Okay.
Wait. God, what's it doing? Okay, so.
Yeah.
Here's the YouTube capture. So let me open that up. Go to my playlist.
This man fatally shot.
You already watched this. So.
This guy, can you believe him?
I know. I thought I was doing a decent job being Shabisky.
Oh my God.
No, but
what
then
is going on the stream?
Then on Discord.
Oh my God.
This is one big shit show.
Did John tell you he hadn't slept for 48 hours?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's shade.
What did you say? 4 hours?
He hasn't slept for 48 hours.
Gene?
Yeah.
Why?
He's crazy.
Because I was up all night. JLV kept me up playing Civ.
How about you just be a normal person for a moment and do a little sleeping?
Yeah, take a little nappy nap.
Maybe.
Yeah, for just a moment, just act like you're a human, Gene. Just
God,
at least act.
Why are you being so abusive, Shab?
48 hours. I just did a 20-hour stream and I was like ready to, Minecraft myself.
Well, I didn't want to
And it's like you 48 hours, and the only reason I did that is so I could get I gained almost 2,000 subscribers. That's why I did it.
John loves Civilization 6, dude.
And then
JLV forced me to do it. He told me if I don't do it, he'd Minecraft himself.
Okay, stop. Okay.
What?
What you need to do is you need to pop out the thing with the cameras. Go to the bottom right corner and click pop out.
You're such a good friend, Shab.
Where does it say pop out?
In the bottom right corner, if you open up Discord and show what you're trying to... go to... Then click in the bottom right corner, pop out, and then that's what you need to capture and put on the screen.
Okay, where's the bottom right? Okay, pop out. And then...
So you need to share, or you need to go back to this OBS and change what you're capturing to the pop out now. It's a disaster, Skabibi.
Okay, here we go.
A disaster.
So, and then here's my browser. Am I supposed to be capturing this?
What do you mean on the bottom? You could do that. You're doing it.
Yeah, just full screen it, Gene. Full screen that sucker.
Okay, so if I full screen this
now. Wait. All right, I'm drunk. Go ahead.
So it says that okay, so if I share my screen now on Discord, is it sharing my screen? Yeah, the stream. Wait, the stream has ended?
No.
Oh, it says on Discord the stream has ended.
Because I closed mine. Yeah. My stream ended. You were watching mine.
Prison. Now there's anger at the all-female jury. We warn you, this video is intense. It's a chilling moment as a husband driven mad with jealousy stands.
So now it's showing. Jesus.
Yeah, and then you can just put on the bottom part, you can put another you make another thing of what you have above it with our cameras below it, but with just the screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. You got to figure it out, Gaywad. All right.
Oh. Okay. There we go. God, this is probably the best stream ever. Talk to the chat, Dirt.
One in the chat if Gene is so demanding.
God, what's it done?
Your JLV denies your slander of Minecraft.
Okay. Is JLV going to join us?
Feel free, Mr. LV.
What's it doing?
What have you done?
I don't know.
It was fine.
I could probably
It was
do this better.
fine. You've squished us. You've squished us like it's a live stream.
Okay, whatever.
I am Gene. Literally, I'm pretty sure if you just pull that screen back on up, it'll be so fine. Just play the. I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know, dude. Fucking, I give up. It looked fine, Gene. What did you do?
Okay, I don't know. Here, I'm gonna wait this. Here, let's talk to the chat, Dirt.
Dude, I'm trying. Hello, Sunfire Lotus in a galaxy far, far away. Yes, one sleep-deprived John Morgan, probably asleep Timmy, and a Dirt burning in hell and fire and brimstone. We tried to piece together a PPP without Shabisky, and look what happened. It all fell apart.
Well,
and it was all fine when Shabisky was here, but the second Shabisky left,
I'm not.
Take note how it was all fine when Shabisky was here. He left, it was all good. And the second he left, John fucked it up.
It's not. Let's see. It won't. Usually, it's able to. It will revert back to its normal size, and it's not doing that.
Are you holding control? Are you holding? Well, don't do that. Well, I guess do that until you make it look right, and then. Oh, Gene.
Jesus.
Oh, Gene, you are fucking sleep deprived.
Yeah.
What substances have you consumed on top of that today, John? Don't go too much into detail, but fuck, dude. I mean, I don't know. Are you taking your medication, John? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good. Good.
What does taking my medication have to do with this?
Well, you know, some of your medication is stimulants. It looks fine. Let me make sure we can hear it.
I'll pull it.
We can hear it. It's good. You fixed it, John. It's beautiful. Well done. Let's skip to a video that we have not seen. Yes, the rat video. We didn't get to watch the rat video. Go back. Oh. Is this just silent? Because now I don't hear it.
I think the video is just silent.
Okay. Runaway horses? Oh, shit, dog! Y'all motherfuckers in the wrong neighborhood.
See, even the horses are running away from the cops.
Beautiful fucking horses. Look at them. Not in the Vosh way. Not in the Vosh way. I'm an animal lover, but not in the Vosh way.
Oh, we should have. I guess we missed where that was actually trending.
Yeah, we missed that bandwagon
Well,
relevancy.
To go on a little tangent, it's like at first I was like, because all these big YouTubers, like people hate The Amazing Atheist, they hate Destiny, and it seems like every big divisive political like commentary YouTuber, you always hear that they're guilty of the PDF file thing, they're guilty of grape, they're guilty of like being a serial killer and shit like that, the Trinity killer and crap. So I don't know. They at first I was just dismissive of it. It's like I think it's just people like overreacting, but then I actually looked into it and apparently he has a long history of defending the P word. So yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel uncomfortable watching him now.
It was all. You don't have the proper context, my guy.
Oh yeah, my guy. Now, one dude left a video on, or not a video. He left a comment on my stream a couple weeks ago about like how like when we were criticizing crystal healing and elements of Christianity, they're like, oh God, like look at all this intelligent design and so forth, and it's like, what's the purpose of volcanoes? What kind of purpose
You know,
do they
it's
exist?
kind of like when you have a pimple, John. You know, and some shit builds up.
Well,
It's
what's
got to
the
be
purpose of
expelled somehow.
pimples?
Look at me. I got volcanoes all around me, John. You
What's
gotta understand
the
volcanoes.
purpose of a pimple? Why are
To
pimples
expel? To expel? What's the fucking word I'm looking for? Impurities from the bloodstream, John.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't we not have any impurities that need to be expelled? If things were.
If only we lived perfect lives, John. But we are sinners, drenched in sin. We
God's
have
grand plan.
we have
They
strewn
ate
far
the
away
fruit
from the godly
forbidden
ways.
tree.
John Morgan.
Yes. Oh, now that... Oh, crap. Oh, there we go. Disappeared again. God, what's it doing?
What you talk about, Gene?
I gotta move this to a different... God, I have like 3 monitors. I need like probably 4 monitors.
Just make sure it's open.
Yeah, it's like you definitely need one person working the OBS while the other person works the content, because it's like in order for things to work, it's like you would pretty much need 4 screens. You need one for the OBS, one to monitor the live chat, another one for like the Discord, and then another one to play the content. I guess I can use my phone to monitor the chat.
That's what I'm doing because my cat's fucked up one of my HDMI cords, and now I have to use one screen till the new
Oh, here
one
we go. So apparently there were a bunch of prisoners that broke free, and now Haiti's declared a state of emergency because there's like a gang uprising against the government, and I guess whatever their military, their police force, whatever, is unable to deal with it. They're not well armed enough. The gangs seem to...
What the fuck?
Yeah, they seem to rival the state like police when it comes to like their arms and everything.
And that allowed
their
thousands of
munitions.
inmates to escape. The U.S. Embassy in Haiti is urging citizens to leave the country. Haiti has been engulfed in turmoil for years, as our CNN's David Culver explains.
So we're like a block away? Yeah. It's as close as we can get driving. So we layer up and walk.
Oh, yeah. You can already smell it. Wow, look at people just still making their commute as tires are burning right in the middle of the street here.
No police barricade, no firefighters. Most seemingly unfazed. These flames have been burning for several hours. Haiti has been engulfed in turmoil for years.
Ooh, I'm looking at it on my phone. Now my OCD's kicking in. Maybe I should move this down a little bit. Wait, why is it not? Ugh. God, I hate this. Okay, there we go. God.
We don't have a home to live in. We don't have food to eat. That's what they're shouting.
Many here now fear their country is on the brink of exploding.
Does it feel safe right now?
No, there's a thing. My country is broken right now.
These folks blame the current government and Prime Minister Ariel Henry, appointed following the assassination of President Jovenel Moise in 2021. They want Henry to go, but he says he's not yet ready to step down. This as panicked street shootouts like this one have become a near daily occurrence. It's often a clash between police and the gangs, which have essentially taken Haiti hostage. They flaunt their weapons and wealth on TikTok, threatening police and basking in lawlessness. Many residents now living behind barricades.
This is not the gangs doing this. This is the folks that live in these neighborhoods who are putting these up to prevent gangs from coming in and kidnapping.
Using whatever might stop or slow the kidnappers. Efforts to protect families and preserve innocence. That innocence shattered for others.
So, like, Somalia is a pirate state, and I guess Haiti is a gang state.
This 14-year-old says he was recruited by a gang at 11. Tells me he's often forced to burn the bodies of those killed by other gang members. I want to change my way of life, he says, with a heavy look of shame. At an early morning food distribution, we meet dozens of women who have felt the wrath of gang violence. At times, we notice a lost stare in their eyes.
All of them have been bailed.
So America is run by aristocrats. Russia's run by oligarchs. Gaza's run by, like, terrorists. Somalia's run by pirates and Haiti's run by gangs. God.
America's run by the almighty dollar.
There's nobody here who has not been evicted. This woman's sister shot and killed. This one's husband burned alive inside their home.
I wonder why she's wearing
There's nobody here who has not been evicted. This woman's sister shot and killed. This one's husband burned.
Like, I'm gonna say, like, it's an American flag, but there's a lot of flags that have that design or close to that design, so I don't want to jump to that conclusion.
Alive inside their home. This woman tells us she was raped. She shows us the marks left behind. In recent months, gangs have seized more and more control over this country, including the roads leading to Port-au-Prince. Officials estimate that gangs now control as much as 80% of the capital.
Jesus Christ. It's like when you play Saints Row, and you see the map when you, like, take over the different districts. Yeah, it seems like that's what's happening here.
Even the U.S. Embassy and International Airport are mostly surrounded by rival gang territories. It's led the Haitian National Police to create an undercover unit. We go with them to the front lines.
This unit actually goes into...
Dude, watch it. It's like a meta undercover unit, where the undercover unit is actually the gangs that are undercover acting as undercover police. What do you think? Am I on it?
Dude, I don't know. That sounds like a good movie, though.
Yes. Meta undercover.
For gang members and invites them.
The officers ask us not to reveal our exact location, and they tell us to work quickly, given we're standing exposed on a windy hillside.
As police have described it to me, basically everything behind me.
Yeah, Sunfire. Shab bailed on us because he has to do his stupid, like, Fortnite streams with his vertical streaming. It's not working on my end. I probably should have planned ahead.
Is occupied by the gangs. It's under their control. There are homes all around us. We're standing on the foundation of one home that have been abandoned.
They offer to drive us closer.
And you can see they're getting ready.
Yes, our drivers all geared up now, ready for potential gunfire.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
I bet if you used some more tags, it'd help.
Yeah. What's that? No, you're only supposed to use 3. You can get in trouble if you use too many.
Which ones are you using?
What do you mean? Like,
what tags?
Well, I filled all the tags and stuff. I used, like, Haiti, Gaza, yeah. But the tags in the, like, in the chat, you're only supposed to use 3 tags that, like, hashtags in the live chat and everything. But I noticed I minimized, like, Discord again when I'm supposed to be using my phone. So maybe this is, do you guys think it's entertaining, me being all disoriented or whatever?
I don't know, I'm getting a kick out of it.
Yeah, hopefully people get something out of it.
This as the last defensive point, and beyond here is what they consider to be their front lines.
From here, you can see the battlefield. No signs of any suspected gang members, for now. Police are not the only ones trying to gain the upper hand here. In a fractured state, alternatives to the gangs and government surface. We're headed to meet a commander of BSAP, Haiti's armed environmental...
Now, do you think, like, those residential buildings right here, I don't think that if this was the US or the UK, they'd be up to code. Yeah.
Surface. We're headed to meet a commander of BSAP, Haiti's armed environmental protection agency that has splintered from the Henri government, challenging its legitimacy.
I do know, like, unfortunately, Haiti is one of the least developed countries on the planet, and I do think you do have to blame a lot of Western of, like, governments for that. And one thing that really is kind of, like, fucked up regarding Haiti and the Dominican Republic, they both share that island, Hispaniola, and whenever there's natural disasters, tsunamis, and hurricanes, they always seem to have a much more of a significant impact on the west side of the island, which is Haiti. And that definitely probably caused a lot of issues with the instability. And I don't think people, like, when it came to the indigenous people, which they were pretty much all killed off by, like, the Western colonists, but, pretty much, I don't think they were actually living on that side of the island, because all the natural disasters that it's constantly subjected to. And I think if you look at a map of, like, parts of the island that are below sea level, I think a decent percentage of the surface area of Haiti is below sea level. So, and it kind of sucks. I know Haiti was colonized by the French. It was one of the few territories in the Americas that was colonized by France, and like a lot of the Caribbean islands, they were pretty much like just these slave states. And then once they gave independence to them, it's just like, hey, all of you guys that were slaves are going to leave you with like no infrastructure and stuff, no semblance of government, kind of like what they did in Africa. So yeah, really fucked them over. And I don't think that really they should have had a separate set of borders carved out on that side of the island. And it kind of shows how colonialism leads to those kind of unnatural borders. So the fact that it's like, hey, France claimed this one side of the island, Spain claimed the other side of the island. So once they gave their independence, because they already had some semblance of borders there that are unnatural borders, they were kind of stuck with that. It's like they probably that island, that part of the island probably shouldn't really have settlements on it. It's kind of hard to have a stabilized government at all when they're constantly being subjected to like extreme natural disasters.
We pull up to a gated compound. The man in the purple shirt leads us in. He then changes into his BSAP uniform. It's the commander. He's in hiding from police. His message echoes the anti-government protester. He flexes BSAP's strength in numbers and its potential to help bring stability. But when it comes to his own family...
You know what? I would say, I don't know, maybe give them citizenship in the U.S. and Canada and other countries. I don't know, carve out another... I just don't think that Haiti is really, in terms of just basic geography and meteorology and shit like that, I don't think it really is suitable for any group of people to be living in that part of the planet.
You mentioned you have 4 kids. What do you think their future is in this country? He fears their future is best served leaving Haiti. The desperation is felt beyond Port-au-Prince. In places like Jeremy, the UN chopper is the safest way to get there. It's about an hour ride. Members of the World Food Program take us through this rural coastal community, devastated by recent protests.
Right back there, you had 5 people were killed last week.
Right there?
It was right there, yeah.
Now, it seems like the gangs are willing to cooperate better than the IDF and Haiti's government, which is probably, like, when it comes to the corruption index, it's probably fairly high on the corruption index. It seems like they're better at allowing the UN and these international aid organizations when it comes to actually allowing aid through. And, like, it seems like Israel is a country that has a lot more resources, and it's a much more developed country, so it should be much more easier for them to, when it comes to the logistics of getting the aid through. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it seems like it's kind of odd that they're actually able to get the aid through here.
We arrive at this agricultural consortium. The WFP buys food from these local farmers to then hand out. But the recent protests have blocked distribution efforts, leaving some food to spoil. It's frustrating for the WFP officials, as they know you don't have to look far to find hunger. These farmers.
I keep, like, by habit, looking at the chat on my desktop as opposed to my phone. Gotta stop doing that.
To their stomachs.
Why is it not there?
You're hungry?
No. It's just my habit when I'm streaming is to constantly, like, pull up the other tabs on my monitor that have the live chat.
Oh.
So I need to break the habit.
A lot of folks.
Sunfire said, who are the other two? That's Gene and Timmy. Timmy's not fucking here. Timmy hasn't said shit. Well, has Timmy said word one this whole time?
Timmy,
come on. If you're
not
there,
really
please.
participating in
Please,
class.
Timmy, please.
See, oh my god, I did it again.
Yeah, don't lie, Gene.
Yeah. I'm reading the chat right now, Skippy. Dude, I think I do a good job reading the chat on my streams. I don't know. I think Skeppy's being too judgmental.
The more migrants there will be on our southern border. It's that simple.
Many here search for normalcy where they can, even with the threat of violence. Missing mass for some is not.
Yeah, you're right, Skeppy. I am good at just thinking a million one steps ahead.
Not an option. They wear their Sunday best and unite in prayer. Places of worship are not immune from gang terror. They at least offer a moment of tranquility.
Yeah, prayer. That's a great way to fix things.
Hope, for now.
It's really good that this religious institution's here, because when you see these religious institutions all over the planet, they seem to do a really great job at alleviating, a lot of global issues.
And David Culver joins us now live from Los Angeles. David, just really incredible piece there. What can you share with us about what the latest is on the ground? We know, of course, over the weekend there was that massive prison break. I mean, what's the latest you can tell us?
Oh, Rahel, we ended that piece there with the moment of tranquility and hope. It's been shattered. Over the past 72 hours, what we have seen, 2 prisons in particular were targeted there by gangs. And according to Haitian police, I mean, this could be a game changer in sustaining any sort of stability that's left, because this outbreak has included what they believe to be more than 3,000 inmates who have gotten out. But beyond that, you're looking at a country, if we take a step back here, that has been dealing with...
So what, the gang just like pulled up and took over and let them out? Is that what happened?
Yeah, they
Fuck.
They broke through the prison. Here, let me see. Population of Haiti. I gotta use the, what is it? 11 million. And then Haiti's military. Talk to the chat. It says 1,000.
This is a pre-recorded broadcast. How could I possibly predict what could be said?
Wait. Their armed forces personnel in Haiti was reported at 1,000, and they broke out 3,000 people in the prison. They got more armed gang members than they do armed force, than the government has armed forces. Jesus.
Disasters, political turmoil, all of this in recent years. And people there that, as you saw in that piece, really say that they want to have their own choice in things and their own leadership. And right now there's a leader, Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who has been appointed. They have not had elections since 2016. The Henry government says that the reason they have not had elections is because of the instability that we pointed out there. You've got dozens of gangs.
So I'm wondering, how are they getting all these munitions and so forth? Like, somebody has to be arming them. Like, supplying them with firearms. And it's an island.
Where there is a will, there is a way. And there's a lot of money in weapons, John.
Yeah.
And you see some of these images that were airing from the past weekend that have basically taken over the entire country. And now what's really concerning, Rahel, is just in the past...
I think Putin, Russia, the Wagner group is arming them.
72 hours, these gangs are starting to coordinate with each other. And so that suggests that there's this united front now that's really going to make things...
God. Do you think that this, residents and stuff, in this neighborhood, do you think they got decent standards of living? Now, utilitarianism is pretty depressing and bleak. If you live in a area where utilitarianism is used for its urban planning, you're probably going to have a lot of depressed people. When you look at this, and this is pretty much all the imagery and stuff that you're exposed to throughout the day, do you think maybe it breeds a lot of negative emotions? Do you think maybe a lot of the people living here are probably pretty depressed? Seems to be a decent level of malaise. Yep.
Yeah, it's not fun. Doesn't look fun.
Difficult for police.
Yeah, and
do you own a weapon, John? Do you own a firearm?
No.
Yeah, me neither, man. I'm a sitting duck.
I own some firearms and Fallout and stuff, and a bunch of video games.
And you can fuck around and find out.
Digital
firearms.
So striking. The interview with the young boy, the 14-year-old, talking to some of the parents. Let me ask you.
Dude, what happens when everyone lives in a virtual reality, and then people are fighting, and it's you got NTF firearms and stuff? In the digital world, everything's encrypted and so forth when it comes to the weapons. It's all about breaking the encryptions and stuff in the virtual realities.
Reported from Haiti before. How different does this unrest feel from what you have witnessed before?
Well, from what we just saw on the ground just in the past couple of weeks when we were there, what we are seeing now, and this kind of goes along with even as we were planning for this trip, is that today going there is safer than tomorrow. And those are the words from one contact on the ground when I was trying to figure out, okay, when should we logistically get on the ground when we were initially planning this trip? And that suggests that you really cannot understate the dire situation that's happening. It's not.
Next vid.
We begin in Haiti.
Yeah, that was bleak.
State of emergency has been declared.
Oh, it's more bleak news about Haiti. 4,000 inmates.
Jesus. And they got 1,000 armed forces. Good. Okay. I gotta empty my bladder. Talk to the chat, dirt.
Oh, what's the matter, John? Gotta empty his bladder. So I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, JLV. Maybe. I don't know. Why you want to know if I got a firearm? That's all I got. I mean, you said weapons. It could. I mean, we're talking about firearms, guns, if you will. Skeptical Jesus, you can't have a gun in Canada, right? I don't know. I'm not a Canadian. I don't know laws. Dude, Timmy just fucking bailed on us, dude. Disappointing. You got to get a license and register it. Well, yeah, they say you got to do that here in America, but you know, they ban handguns. I think. It's not a ban. I think they raised the age for like handguns here or something. Something like that. Dude, my cats are going insane. Got this big ass cardboard box. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, handguns are nice. I mean, what, they're not doing like a turn them in shit, right? Like you get grandfathered in if you got one. Do, 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 do. Dude, John must have empty his bladder. God damn. How much is he drinking? I drank a whole ass beer and a half, and I ain't had to piss yet. Be like fat people being afraid of spoons. Oh. Oh. Yeah, right now it's just a freeze on sales and transfers. Oh, shit. That sucks. I remember when they raised the age. It was probably a couple of years ago. At least it was in my state. I don't know. Yeah, shit goes here. My buddy, he was probably 20, and it was right before he had to be 21. He's like, "Fuck," because we had some notice. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go buy a pistol."
Okay, and we're back to all the gang violence.
Armed gangs carried out two
Back to the
serious
Haitian
jailbreaks.
gang.
The
I
BBC
caught
has been
myself.
told
I was about to minimize it. It's like, nope, I reached for my phone.
the vast majority of inmates held the capital's main prison have escaped. Some 4,000 men. Gangs who now control much
Drunken
shorter prisons.
Crow.
Who's this?
Speak up, bird.
I'm here to fill in for Timmy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, Dragon, you been drinking today, my friend?
I'm on my first one.
Okay, you got to catch up. I mean, well, I got tall boys, so I don't know. So, cheers, my friend.
Okay, there we go.
Goodbye,
Broke
Timmy.
into
Turn on
the
your
building
camera,
in the
Crow.
early hours of
Complete
Sunday.
the
At least 12
Trinity.
people have been killed
Well,
in the
apparently he always disconnects when that happens.
He's
This latest
disconnected
escalation of
anyways.
violence began on Thursday when the country's Prime Minister Ariel Henry travelled to Nairobi to discuss sending a Kenyan-led multinational security force to Haiti. For more, I spoke to Harold Isaac, who's a freelance journalist who's in Port-au-Prince.
Now we have entered a state of emergency along with a curfew, and this is the answer of the government to the latest developments in the last few hours, where the security situation has seriously degraded here in the capital of Port-au-Prince.
Just describe what it's like.
Well, for the most part, everybody here are expecting to have a disrupted week as over 4,000 inmates have fled the two detention centers here.
Dude, it's like a natural. So usually when I organize the playlist, it's always in like descending order from latest upload to like earliest upload, and it's like when you're watching things about natural disasters, and it's like, okay, there's 20,000 dead, 80,000 dead. Now it's like 3,000 inmates were released.
Yeah.
4,000 inmates released.
Yeah.
Here in Port-au-Prince, and
I had that same shit click in my head because you just said 3,000 and I was like 4,000.
It's gonna go up. What do you think the number is gonna go up to?
I don't want to know, man. That's scary. That's
13,000 inmates have been released.
Oh my god.
They outnumber the National Guard 13-1.
Already,
Dude, they outnumber civilians, dude. Fuck.
In the city.
No, that's crazy, man. This is insane.
It might suck in America, but we live in a fucked up world. Just think about it. It's like
This shit ain't happening in my backyard, dude.
Questions with very little answers at this point.
Some inmates we heard chose not to leave the prisons. They actually felt safer to stay.
Well, safer and also legal consideration. And also
Yeah, fuck that. It's like, all right, yeah, y'all have fun. I'm gonna chill.
Is that blood on the door?
The Colombians or
probably.
I'm gonna move that up.
People that were involved in the assassination of the president, some of them decided to stay in order not to get killed in crossfires between the police and gangs, or to have their sentence aggravated as a result of fleeing the
New challenges,
There's
John.
many implications for those who have actually fled.
New challenges with this vertical streaming.
He's in Nairobi. His absence is partly what's
Finally,
away.
Mike showed
Saw an
up.
opportunity to seize control. What's likely to happen next, and how soon will this multinational security aid come in?
This is unclear at this point. Nobody has the details, at least publicly, as to when to expect the troops. The Prime Minister himself should be on his way back as we speak, but nobody...
Is America going to come in and give assistance? You like to act as world police.
knows for sure where...
We're too busy helping the IDF. We're too busy helping Israel.
I mean, it would be easier for us to help Haiti than, you know, fucking the other countries.
Yeah. Like what other countries?
Ukraine and Israel. There we go.
Do you think they should send some aircraft carriers in and some air drones to help with the gang problem?
Yes. Just nuke the whole place.
No, in Minecraft.
He is at this moment.
Don't be excessive, Crow.
And as such is the at interim Prime Minister, Mr. Boisvert, who has taken...
Tonight, Haiti spiraling toward anarchy. A 72-hour state of emergency declared after armed gangs stormed two of the nation's largest prisons on Saturday and Sunday, according to the government.
Remember when we were doing like the world's worst prisons like episode? Remember the Haiti prison? Where it's like
they're
legs.
Basically like a walled-in... Wait, no. That's a different one.
Well, it was like a factory farming. We see all the chicken like cages and stuff. It's like a sardine can where it's like all their like legs and limbs are pretty much like protruding from the bars and everything because it's so cramped in there.
Close to 4,000 prisoners reportedly escaped during the violent assault. The exact death toll is unknown, but bodies were seen lining the streets of Port-au-Prince as police unions publicly pleaded for backup. Tonight, the Associated Press reporting heavily armed gangs tried to take control of the country's largest international airport, exchanging gunfire with soldiers as employees.
God damn!
The government
Wait,
says
what did
gangs
you
that now
say?
control...
I was trying to read the chat.
They tried to take their largest international airport.
They're gonna like take up like all their like fire departments. They're gonna start like annexing all the hospitals and national parks.
Like, what do you think's gonna happen when you take the airport? Well, I guess you get some planes. Shit. Yeah. Never mind. I was gonna say no.
Like commercial airliners, they're weapons of mass destruction.
I always talk about. I mean, at first I was like, yeah, they're just gonna shut down everybody coming in. I'm like, oh, they're not trying to. Nobody's trying to come in, dude.
Yeah.
Shabisky and their viewers just joined and say hello. What the fuck is that?
See,
I don't even. How is that a thing? How is that a thing?
You think Haiti and Gaza need aid? We need aid. Our stream.
What the fuck?
What? Where you should be directing your attention. I'm sorry, I got a dark sense of humor. But that's why you should come to our stream. We didn't play the intro to like reveal that this is the dark humor news like commentary podcast.
Estimated 80% of the nation's capital.
Should probably change the name of the podcast to that.
Following the
The dark humor news commentary podcast.
Yes.
You know, it's unique.
Yes.
It's descriptive.
Are behind the bloody prison break. One of their targets, Haiti's National Penitentiary, houses several high-profile inmates, including Colombian nationals accused of being involved in the plot to kill President Moïse.
They got Colombian prisoners in there. Dude, it's Bane! Look! Oh
my god.
Oh, it's
prolific gang leaders like
Wish.com Bane.
It's Chewbacca.
It's Hannibal Lecter.
Rezier, who's known as Barbecue, have been calling for the arrest of Haiti's acting president,
Barbecue?
Prime Minister Ariel Henry, for months.
Dude, go fuck back. Did I just hear that shit right? Go the fuck back. Did I hear that correctly?
Sergeant Barbecue.
President, Prime Minister Ariel Henry for months.
A little bit more, John.
Barbecue
Sorry
doubled
to
down
tell you.
following the prison-
No, it's barbecue.
Prolific gang
I saw the
leaders, Jimmy
subtitles.
Cherizier, who's known as Barbecue, have been calling for the arrest of Haiti's acting president, Prime Minister Ariel Henry,
Lieutenant Barbecue.
for months. Barbecue doubled down following the prison attacks, releasing a public message telling Haitians the gangs, quote, seek to liberate the country. Henry was out of the country at the time of the prison break, working with leaders in Kenya to finalize
Now,
an agreement.
I don't know exactly how corrupt their current official is, but do you think if the gangs overthrow the current government, do you think it's going to be less corrupt?
Yeah, I'm sure barbecue is going to be like
You know what,
head of
may-
state or some shit.
Maybe they're just calling
President
them gangs.
Barbecue is gonna set some shit straight.
Well, maybe it's like America, where we just like to call any group we don't like agree with, like terrorists. Like the Insane Clown Posse, they're terrorists and stuff, and PETA's a terrorist group. It's like maybe they're just calling them gangs. They're just the resistance, it's the rebel uprising. All the people in the prisons, they were dissenting against the government or whatever. They're just guilty of sedition because they just spoke out against the government. So maybe this is their uprising. What do you think? Or do you think they're just?
I don't know. I mean, when you brought up, that imagery again when we covered the prison episode of them just all being packed the fuck in there, like I can see empathetically why someone would want to run the fuck up in there and get their homie out of there. I mean, shit. I don't know.
That would fast track.
It's like, how do they sleep? Like, and use the.
Now it leads to this though. It's just instant blood and warfare, and we could take this whole motherfucker. That's crazy, man.
But when you see those prisons where they mentioned that it was something like they only had like a few feet, like square feet of like personal space each person. So it's like, are they just all given a pail or something? Do they have to like squirm through to wherever, like, I don't know, like the chamber pots are? I mean. like how do they deal with that?
The deployment of police officers for a UN-approved mission aimed at regaining control of the nation. Violence in Haiti is not new, but it is steadily escalating. Last year, the number of people killed in armed gang conflicts was 2 times higher than the year before.
Haiti is trapped. Well, it's a good thing that everyone has a gun. Like in America, that's one of the reasons why everyone needs a gun. So when the time comes, we can rise up against our government. So clearly, a scenario like this, everyone having a gun and rising up against the government, it's like very, very liberating kind of situation.
It's the American dream.
Yeah, America.
That doesn't govern.
Dude, a lot of Americans, they don't want people coming in. It looks like, and they don't want people coming in either. I think a lot of those Americans that want everyone to have a gun, it's their utopia. They need to go there.
Of doing anything. It looks now like the gangs, which are the only ones that can establish any kind of political order in Haiti, are coming together.
For the residents of Port-au-Prince, help can't come soon enough.
Okay, and with that, Ellison Barber joins us now live in studio. So
Lieutenant Barbecue needs to be appointed their new head of state.
Yes, and then Colonel Mustard.
Oh my God.
Barbecue.
We'll fight Ariel Henry until the last drop of blood. We'll fight until he resigns. I'm ready to make an alliance with the devil. Ready to sleep in the same bed as the devil.
Why don't they just bully him for having a girl's name? Just do that. You don't need guns.
Haiti has plunged into chaos while Henry was on a mission in Kenya to seek international help to battle gang violence.
What, maybe their police force is the biggest gang in town. I mean, it's kind of like how, many parts of America, like our police, they're the biggest, gang faction out there.
Henry landed in Puerto Rico as he tries to return to Haiti to quell a surge in violent gang attacks. Earlier, gangs tried to take over control of Haiti's Toussaint-Louverture International Airport, prompting some sort of something.
We need
probably
the United
military
States
response.
To go in, find some group that probably has the most altruistic goals, and we need to give them weapons and training. Do you think that would help?
No, tell the U.S. government they have oil.
No, they need to go in. Never mind. Scrap the previous idea. They need to go in, and when you saw all those red territories with all the gang members, build a wall around every single one of those territories.
Oh my God.
Yeah, sequester all the gang members into those regions, so they won't be able to get through the wall. You think that would work?
I don't think they'd have time to build the wall, John.
No, like all the prisoners. They're like all like running amok. It's anarchy. They're all loose from themselves. Just build walls around all those red territories and make them their own prisons, and then give the government lots of arms and stuff. So then you can have these it's a two-state solution, and then you have all the people like in their mega like prisons and stuff, and they're locked in there in generations, and then aid can't get in or out, and then there you go. Don't you think the two-state solution of building a wall around all these other territories and making them giant prisons, don't you think that would
sounds
work?
familiar.
What does it sound like?
Israel and Palestine?
Huh. Good point.
Situation, a lack of any kind of political anything, discussions, negotiations. There needs to be an international force of some shape, size, and form, because the Haitian National Police is not powerful enough to take on the gangs themselves.
Months of chaos and raging gang violence came to a head today in Haiti. The prime minister, stranded in Puerto Rico and unable to return to his nation, announced late last night that he would resign as soon as a transitional government is in place and a new leader chosen. Meantime, Kenya reportedly delayed the deployment of a police force to Haiti under a red flag.
Fuck. So he's just like, yeah, y'all figure that shit out. I'll come back eventually.
Of that new government.
Oh, shit.
Bolster depleted and beaten Haitian security services that have been fighting heavily armed gangs for years. But that violence has recently been made worse by an influx of more and more powerful weapons. And as special correspondent Marcia Biggs tells us, the weapons.
Who's arming them? Who's supplying them? Like, take your guess.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I think it's ISIS.
Weapons fueling the violence mostly come from the U.S.
This is where the majority of weapons in Haiti come from, Miami, Florida. But not from the giant.
Oh, there's your answer. Not no ISIS.
The Florida Man.
It's Florida Man, dude.
Lieutenant Florida Man is supplying Lieutenant Barbecue with all the weapons.
But from this 5-mile stretch up the Miami River, where officials say they're nearly impossible to find. We went to one of several small shipping terminals along the Miami River, which specialize in what's called break bulk cargo. There we met Anthony Salisbury, the special agent in charge of Homeland Security investigations in Miami.
When you go to a major modernized port like the Port of Miami, you're going to see containers stacked up, very modernized, giant cranes loading them onto cargo ships, lots of access control, lots of security, formalized paperwork, declaration.
Yeah, like the logistics of this, like wait until you see like just all the things they have to check and stuff, and it's almost like like this is where AI could really come into handy, like when it comes to scanning like all of these like containers and stuff, because it's almost impossible for any human to thoroughly like look through all this cargo and luggage to like actually make sure there isn't any contraband.
And what you have here is a bunch of loosely packed goods, very informal shipping mechanism, very informal on who it's going to, what the commodity is, and how much of it is going down.
Hard to police.
Very hard to police.
Wow. This is a typical warehouse.
No smoking, just spray painted on that shit.
The Department of Homeland Security has some of the best interdictors in the world, and the best systems in the world, right? But
Do you think they're just talking about tobacco when it comes to no smoking?
No, I bet there's all sorts of volatile materials in here. You do not want an open flame there.
This is daunting. There's no way anybody can do all. This is one warehouse on this river.
Packages are already sealed and, according to Salisbury, lacking proper documentation, since anything claimed to be worth less than $2,500 doesn't have...
Look at you damn Canadians always blaming America. Like, we're known for, like, I don't know, manufacturing, like, guns in bulk.
Have to be declared.
Not like there's more guns in America than there are people.
Usually a paper manifest, handwritten.
Right.
You know?
So very bare bones.
And if somebody didn't want that to make a manifest, very easy to make that happen.
Just last year, Homeland Security announced a crackdown after Haiti's customs agency found a shipment of arms in a container labeled as church donations. But this break bulk...
Church donation.
Like we saw in the original video, like one of the previous videos, like prayer, the church, really helps.
Cargo can only be...
Maybe it's like Hamas is kind of like using certain government facilities like hospitals as, I guess, like these kind of... shields and stuff, and these kind of sheets for their like tunnels and everything. It seems like, do you think maybe they're using their churches and so forth? They're doing an Ozark where they're like distributing all the like morphine and stuff, like through the Bibles and stuff, and they're using the church on the water as like a front, a veneer. So I think that's what's going on here. They're using these religious institutions. It's like their variation or their version of like Hamas and the hospital. What the hospitals are to Hamas, and like the tunnels is what the churches are to Haiti with the firearms.
Searched one by one with mobile X-ray units.
Thank God we got religion.
Barry says it could take a month just to go through this warehouse.
We have to break apart these pallets, hand load them through the X-ray things.
You have to break apart this pallet in order to X-ray it?
Yes, one pallet.
Oh, wow.
In addition to bags of food, we saw batteries, construction equipment, even entire cars. But mostly we saw sealed up drums and cardboard boxes, packages sent by Haitian Americans to families back in Haiti. Where
Have you seen scenarios where they'll take mattresses and they'll cut them open, and then there will be like a bunch of firearms and ammo in them. There will be a bunch of like coke and everything. And sometimes there's actual people in the mattresses.
Oh my God.
Trying to like cross the border and so forth. And what they do is they like will in certain like, and you see this all over the planet, they'll like weigh the mattresses and stuff to see if it's like of like the like size that the like they're supposed to be when it comes to like, I guess their commercial distribution. And if it weighs just a little bit more, they're supposed to cut it open and see what's inside. And you'll see scenarios where, and a lot of this, like you'll see it on the, a lot of the Mediterranean, like countries in Europe, and so forth. And there's parts of Spain that are actually on like that border Africa, like on the other end of the Mediterranean Sea, and they deal with a lot of like border issues there. And you'll see all these scenarios where they open up mattresses and just tons of like ammo clips just start pouring out.
And hunger are rampant.
There's a humanitarian need knowing what the people of Haiti are dealing with right now, and the Department of Homeland Security has to balance that on the whole. How do we balance inspection and enforcement while not unnecessarily slowing down the flow of commerce? But can you hide guns on that? Sure.
A recent UN report states that the principal source of guns in Haiti is Florida. Guns bought through individual or straw man purchases in U.S. states where gun laws are lax. Handguns sold at Florida gun shows for $400 to $500 draw as much as 20 times more in Haiti.
Are you seeing any sort of thread among these?
Thank God for the gun show, Luke.
God damn.
Is there any indication that there may be some sort of organized, centralized structure that is leading this?
Yes, absolutely. Our entire goal is always to
It
look
kind of shows that, like, when it comes to the drug war, it's like making it illegal. It's like a lot of it is like manufacturing, the distribution of these drugs is in the United States, as well as a lot of these Central American countries and countries like Brazil and so forth. And it's just this revolving door. And it's like, maybe if we just like decriminalized a lot of these substances where they could be regulated and sold legally, you wouldn't have to deal with this black market of shipping it in and out. And it's like, maybe if we actually regulated firearms properly, it shows how it's like these piss poor forms of like legal policy. It doesn't just affect our country. Look at how much of a fucked up like effect it has over other like neighboring nations and neighboring countries that don't even share a border with us, where they're islands, and it's just sharing maritime borders with us. Look at how much havoc we're wreaking on that, wreaking on these nations.
John, are you trying to take away my Second Amendment right?
Yes. Fuck the Second Amendment. We need to ratify it. I don't care.
Ratify it? That means confirm it. That means it's in. You mean fucking...
They can ratify like an amendment that replaces it.
Replace it then. That's ratify means confirm. I don't know.
Yeah. But isn't it like if they get rid of like a particular
could amend?
Don't they have to ratify some new modified like amendment to replace it? Yeah.
You're sleep deprived, John. Get off my ass.
Don't semantic stickler me.
We've increased our partnerships with our international operations and our foreign partner counterparts, where these weapons are heading.
While law enforcement officials are focused on gun trafficking along the Miami River, members of Congress are focused on new legislation to determine who's actually buying those guns.
When it comes to Haiti, we know the gang members, if you look at them, some of them aren't wearing shoes, their clothes are ripped, they have blood from the day before. These aren't people who can afford to do this. These people are actually hired, they are trained, they're given guns, and they're carrying out a mission. The real question is, what is the mission?
They're a well-trained militia.
Who is benefiting from instability?
Before this latest round of violence, we sat down with Florida Democratic Congresswoman and Haitian-American Sheila Sherflewis-McCormick. She's co-sponsored the Haiti Criminal Collusion Transparency Act, now on its way to the Senate. It requires the State Department to present annual reports to Congress on ties between criminal gangs and political and economic elites in Haiti, information it doesn't routinely share.
The State Department would have to report to the public any actors who participated in either funding the gangs, contributing to the gangs, sending guns, so we can all know who these people are and be able to levy sanctions against them.
In addition to sanctions, last year the UN authorized a multinational security support mission in Haiti to be led by Kenyan forces with funding from the U.S. After a deal was finally reached last week to send 1,000 police officers, today Kenya put a hold on the deal until a new government is formed. And back in the U.S., Congress has only released a small portion of the funding. Yesterday, in light of the recent violence, Sheriff Lewis-McCormick...
I mean, we gotta fund the IDF. I mean, can't fund everybody.
No, send the IDF to
look at
Haiti.
Yeah, yes. Look at the kind of calls that, well, to be fair, it's like, I don't think it would be the most humane thing to do, but it's like, we give so much fucking money to Israel and the IDF, maybe they should, if we want to police the globe, maybe they should be contributing to that and, like, deploying some of their forces if their forces weren't as malicious and as brutal as they are.
I don't know. Right now, it seems like the general consensus is to let Lieutenant Barbecue take the throne and sort it out then.
Take the presidency.
Every day that we are waiting on appropriate funding,
the metaphorical throne,
is every single day that we are actively losing lives of Haitian people and Americans who are in Haiti.
But the mission has raised eyebrows among those familiar with Haiti's history and dark legacy of foreign intervention. The U.S. led a brutal occupation of Haiti in 1915 that lasted for almost 2 decades. And in 2010, UN peacekeepers brought cholera to the country, which killed almost 10,000 people and remains an epidemic to this day. Sheriff Lewis-McCormick is the only Haitian-American member of Congress, and her district has one of the highest Haitian-American populations in the country. For her, this is personal.
We have to stop the torture. We have to stop kids from being recruited every single day. This is why I got elected. The reason why the Haitian people came together and said we need to have a Haitian American in Congress is for this time and this moment. For me to speak against people who are saying, no, don't intervene, let Haitians die.
A major lifeline has been the humanitarian parole program, which allows vetted Haitians to legally live and work in the U.S. for 2 years. It's come under attack by Republicans who last month blocked a bipartisan border security bill.
There are no visas coming out of
Yeah, we really need to keep them out. I mean, it's not like it's the Florida men that are, like, really bringing things into Haiti. We need to keep them out. They don't need to keep the Florida men out.
Haiti. The only way out of Haiti right now is the parole program. If you remove the parole...
Build a wall around Florida.
...program, that is a death sentence.
just
for every
cut
Haitian
Florida off and let it
8
float
million
away.
people we will
Yeah, like, you have the Panama Canal and stuff, and the Suez Canal. Create a Floridian canal.
them to a death sentence because you cannot leave. The only way you would get out is on the boats when you come to my borders in Miami, and I've gone to the detention centers. I looked them in their eyes. I've seen their pain, or I've seen them at the border. So how do we tell them no? I'm sorry.
While violence rages and humanitarian disaster looms, a pipeline to Haiti is vital for so many in need.
Those were
It's
crocodile
also a
tears.
perfect way for gun smugglers to move the weapons.
I was about to say that, but I resisted the urge. I'm glad
She's
I
a
wasn't the only one
politician.
thinking-
She's a fucking politician.
We all know politicians, they don't actually have feelings.
That keep the conflict going.
So this is where all those items that we just saw are going to end up, on a cargo hold on its way to Haiti. You can see how possible it would be to investigate all these items. Any one of them could be filled with guns.
If you have a gun weapon inside, $1 million US dollar, and you got 20 years in jail.
But shipper Philome Charles says his company, God is Able Shipping, has
Wait,
been
how
sending
many
packages.
years in jail? 20 years in jail. That's like 25 years of the life sentence in America. So that's just like, that's 4/5 of a life sentence.
20 years in jail.
But shipper Philome Charles says his company, God is Able Shipping, has been sending packages to Haiti for the last decade, and his customers know not to send weapons.
If you have a gun to send it to Haiti, keep it for yourself. Nobody is able.
While agents
Hammurabi's Code, like, it's like draconian policy never really seems to be that efficient. It seems like when you pack all the prisons with a bunch of people because, I don't know, they're probably there a lot longer than they should be, it results in some kind of revolt, and then people raiding the prisons and releasing thousands of prisoners that outnumber the number of military personnel.
do make random inspections, often with mobile x-rays, Charles says they've never found anything. He says it's because he documents every package that comes in, and he trusts his system.
So it looks very informal to us, to our eye, but what you're telling me is that you have information on each and every package. You know who is sending what.
Yeah, you're the customer.
Uh-huh.
You bring the boxes to send it to Haiti for your family. First, I'm going to ask you, you drive a license. And second, your passport with a U.S. visa, how you come in the United States. If you define something, we already know who bring it to me.
Well, like I said, relationships with you guys are important.
Originally Haitian, Charles has lived in the U.S. for 38 years, and he says he has an allegiance to both countries.
I have to protect both. My business, United States, and Haiti. My reputation. So far, I'm happy. So far, I'm sleep good.
But do you worry about those stories giving people like yourself a bad name?
We make sure we stand up for every piece of paper for each customer. Every mistake they have in the paper, we're not going to send nothing for you.
Yet somehow, guns make it through. Whether it's the flow of weapons or the power of the gangs who wield them, shutting down either seems next to impossible. And it is.
I mean, it's like there are more guns than people in the United States, so firearms need to go somewhere. Path of least resistance. They naturally flood into other countries like Haiti.
It's the Haitians who suffer. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Marsha Biggs in Miami, Florida.
Man, Young Mon just sent me on a trip, dude. Like it's like it's been 4 years since COVID, bro.
Time flies.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
In Haiti. The United States says it expects a transitional council to be in place in Haiti over the next 2 days as the violence-ridden country is left without a leader. It will be tasked with nominating a new prime minister following the resignation of Ariel Henry on Monday. The UN says it strongly hopes the agreement will help end the violence carried out by the gangs that control much of the capital. Gang leaders had demanded the prime minister step down. Our Central America correspondent, Will Grant, is just outside of Haiti and sent us this report.
Crossing between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And we've already seen the Dominican authorities deporting Haitians back into the poorest country of the Americas at a time that it's facing its most acute humanitarian crisis since the 2010 earthquake. It's also that they're being deported into a political vacuum. Prime Minister Ariel Henry stood down, citing the fact that his situation was untenable given the violence on the streets of the capital, Port-au-Prince. His decision came after the CARICOM group of Caribbean nations and the US Secretary of State held an emergency meeting in Jamaica and made clear that they saw the roadmap towards a transitional administration in Haiti starting with his resignation. So what happens next? Well,
Okay, next vid.
Now to the crisis in Haiti. The U.S. has sent in special tactical teams to help protect American embassy staffers as Haiti's prime minister has announced he plans to step down. Matt Rivers has the latest.
Overnight, as Haiti continues to spiral, the Defense Department sending a team of Marines to the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince, a sign of how dire things have become.
Dude, it's like Hotel Rwanda, where the Rwandan genocide, they just came in to evacuate all the Westerners, and then they just kind of came in, got out. It's like, just leave all the, what was it? It was the Tutsi, were they the ones that, probably pronouncing it wrong, they
The Tutsi!
Well,
the Houthi?
No, Houthi, they're,
The Tutsi? There's no fucking Tutsi. I don't know what the fuck.
God, let's look it up.
The Tootsies, dude. The
Dude's got
Tootsie
chocolate
Roll.
on the brain. Tootsie Rolls.
Talk to Chad.
The Tootsies. Shabisky's in here. He called us a bunch of hippies. John, would you identify as a hippie?
Nah.
Nah. Yeah, I don't think you're a hippie either, John. I'd say I have hippie tendencies. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the TUTSI. The Tutsis and the Hutu, the HUTU. Look it up. Look up TUTSI tribe in Rwanda pronunciation. Let's see how close I am to articulate, like being able to articulate it.
The State Department already deployed special tactical teams to, quote, protect the mission and remaining staffers as the country sits.
It is Tootsie.
Yeah, see? Fuck you, piece of shit. Really, the Houthis, they're all the way in the Middle East. They're all the way in Yemen, you piece of shit.
You're right, dude. You're right, dude. It's the Tootsies. I'm just, I'm thinking like, sure.
Prince demanding.
I'm also deprived and I can...
You win, John. You win.
I win!
Henry resigning, ceding power to a yet-to-be-named
Dude, I want that clip.
The U.S. military...
I wish Timmy was here.
evacuating non-essential personnel from the U.S. Embassy. But with the airport closed for now, American civilians are stuck.
This is the third week, and we can't get out.
Haitians, though, have nowhere else to go. The gang leader behind the attacks, known as Barbecue, spoke to ABC News.
Dude, look at Shab coming in my chat and undermining me. making all these like troll comments. You don't see me doing that, Shab.
Just before Henri resigned.
If Ariel Henry resigns, will you stop fighting?
He says, indeed, if Henri resigns, we will automatically stop the attacks.
And so far, at least, barbecue appears to be holding to that. Tuesday was a relatively calm day.
Oh, well, yeah, I forgot. Like, what is the tribe that was the one that was subjected to the genocide? Which tribe is doing the genocide? Which tribe was being subjected to the genocide?
Oh man, we're not talking about Tootsie Rolls. We're talking about barbecue.
Well,
right? What's with this Tootsie barbecue bullshit, dude? What's going on?
Well, I was bringing it up because it's like talking about like evacuating people. Like they sent in a bunch of Marines to help evacuate the like U.S. citizens in the embassy. But it's like, are they going to help evacuate a bunch of like and give asylum or at least temporary asylum to like a bunch of children and stuff and innocent pedestrians in the crossfire that aren't like armed and actually engaged in the like combat? I do think that at least in situations like this, a lot of other countries should come forward and try to come together and give, like, I guess some temporary residence until the conflict kind of blows over. I don't think anybody deserves to be in the middle of something like this.
Now, one step away, George, from famine.
Such a difficult.
And it was like World War II when it came to the Jewish Holocaust and so forth. It's one of the things they did is like a lot of countries later on gave like a national apology because they like pretty much rejected giving any asylum to any sort of Jewish refugees. And then like there's also the situation with the Rwandan genocide where they did the same thing. They just came in, rescued all the white Europeans and Americans, and then let's just leave all these people there that are in the middle of a genocide. It's not like they didn't have the resources to just like, hey, anyone who needs to leave, who wants to leave, we'll transport you out here. And it's like people like freak out and they're like, oh, giving them citizenship and stuff. But the very least you can do is at least give them some temporary asylum until it does blow over.
Okay, Matt, thank you.
Hi, at the very least.
John, in wars and conflicts, there's always casualties. People have to stay behind and, pun intended, bite the bullet.
Yeah, but I think the least amount of people dying, the better. So I think that, even if there's always casualties, you can do the best you can to minimize the casualties.
It sucks. I'm just saying, like, desperation is the word, because you know these people think in their brain that they try to take the fucking airport. So like, yeah, we're getting the fuck out of here. We're gonna take a plane, but who the fuck is gonna let them land a stolen fucking plane? Like,
they're not gonna land.
Yeah, the spiraling chaos in Haiti. Gangs surrounding the capital. Tonight, the U.S. now sending in Marines, an anti-terror team, to protect.
Well, we got all those aircraft carriers. Maybe we can bring them in there. Let them, land the planes on their runways.
The U.S. Embassy. And news of evacuations, including famous author Mitch Albom, who wrote Tuesdays with Morrie. We spoke with him just a short time ago. Matt Rivers again tonight.
Tonight with Haiti
the
and
people
chaos.
who are saying are violent gang members who freed prisoners who are trying to steal fucking international airport. Yeah, well, of course we'll fly out the aircraft carrier. That's definitely how the propaganda mills turn in this one.
Well, that was a joke, but
I mean, I'm just saying, dude. It's so fucked. Like, it's so fucked. This sucks. Like, why?
It's also I'm making more parallels with like the conflict in Israel, where it's just like they'll claim that Hamas are using their people as shields and so forth. It's like, yeah, they are, but it's like, why do they need, like, when it comes to conducting the level of airstrikes that they are, a lot of it is just to minimize the casualties of their own troops, and it's just if they like applied, I guess, a bit more cadence and so forth. Like, would they be able to solve, like, their objective of dealing with Hamas? And, I mean, I'm not a tactician. I'm not some, like, military, like, strategy expert. But it seems like, I don't know, that the consensus of a lot of experts when it comes to, like, military tactics and so forth is that the airstrikes aren't, like, necessary. It's like, it will take longer to get in there, and deal with them using other means and other technology, but like using more ground-based warfare. But it's just they don't care. They're just gonna, gloves are off. Like I guess bomb, like just drop as many bombs, as many payloads as you can, and it's like when people talk about how there's always casualties of war. Well, it's like, yeah, it sucks that like no matter what, there's going to be like children and innocent like pedestrians that are dying, but you can still minimize the amount of people dying. You can give people more time to evacuate.
Well, that's the problem with Israel is they tell people to evacuate to a specific area, and then they attack that area. So,
well, no, it's Hamas. It's they're the ones. It's their artillery's misfiring. Yeah, but it's also like with Egypt. Like you gotta like look at blame on all sides. Like here, it's like not really assisting other people on this planet when it comes to evacuating, and then it's like somebody like me. I promote globalism. So I think that a lot of the world's countries should come together and kind of contribute to the, I guess, like when it comes to the, what's the word I'm looking for? The, like, when it comes to the, like, mitigating the, or they should divide the responsibility of bringing in refugees. So it's not just one country like the United States that should be dedicated to bringing all the refugees, but it's like with Egypt. Like Egypt shares a border, and it's just another country where it should be doing its part, because it's like in the Jewish Holocaust where you had all these nations where they should have been providing asylum. There's no reason, and then decades later, looking back, and you look like it's clear that all of those like politicians, all of those like states that refused to provide asylum, they were on the wrong side of history, and they had to give like a national state apology. And he, like in a situation like this, like in Israel and Palestine, or like here, it's like I think it's just a civic duty of everyone that lives on this planet and shares this planet to split up the asylum when it's needed.
Flying an elite group of dozens of U.S. Marines into Port-au-Prince to reinforce security at the U.S. Embassy, days after the military evacuated some American staffers before the sun came up. Thousands of Americans, like missionary Miriam Sonoti and her group, trapped and desperate to escape.
They can come and get some, they need to come and get all.
Trubisky's too busy playing Fortnite because he's working on reaching a goal when it comes to his subscribers. He wants to get to, I don't know, 700K subscribers or something.
With gangs controlling the city, veteran rescue group Project Dynamo saying they're headed to Haiti to try and help evacuate American citizens caught in the violence. Two members of Congress also
Perhaps you go to
private
Haiti and
evacuation
get all these people, or talk to these people and have them subscribe.
Yeah.
Included best-selling author Mitch
80.
Albom, who wrote Tuesdays
Close.
with Maury. Albom and his team saying goodbye to the children at the orphanage his charity runs, saying he's luckier than so many others still there amidst the violence.
When we came over the Haiti airspace to the Dominican Republic and they said, okay, we're clear of Haiti airspace, my wife and I were kind of hit with a very deep pang of sadness because our kids are still there and our staff is still there.
But for the vast majority of Americans there, like Jill Dolan, they can't escape, calling on the U.S. government to begin evacuations.
Every day I wake up thinking, Lord, please send us a chopper. Please send us an airplane that's going to...
Yeah. Here's a white woman who speaks English. She can't evacuate. We need to find a way to get her out of there. All those kids and stuff, yeah, like, they're not American citizens, so we don't have any priority to get them out of there.
They can't escape, calling on the U.S. government to begin evacuations.
Every day I wake up thinking, Lord, please send us a chopper. Please send us an airplane that's going to come and rescue us today.
And David, Port-au-Prince calm for now, but that violence could spike at any moment, which would, of course, make any potential evacuations that much harder. David?
Matt Rivers in the Dominican Republic for us. Matt, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking.
Turmoil in Haiti is nothing new.
The airport. I mean, the Dominican Republic isn't the most, like I guess, developed country, but it has a much greater level of development and stability than Haiti. And like with Egypt, sharing a border with, Gaza. It's like maybe, I don't know what the Dominican Republic's doing on its end. Because I think the entire globe, I mean, we all share the same planet. They all have some partial responsibility.
Is now closed and schools are closed.
and traffic is not fluid because many roads are barricaded in many neighborhoods of Port-au-Prince.
Laurent Umoreni works for the Portland-based humanitarian organization Mercy Corps. He's witnessed firsthand the deterioration in Haiti due to political instability.
They can see when they're moving around, they can see dead bodies in the street, which is very traumatizing. People are really afraid of the potential increase of violence by the gangs trying to expand their territories, even the small area that is still controlled by the government.
Haiti's recent turmoil has its roots in the 2020 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. Ariel Henry, who was prime minister under Moïse, took power of Haiti following his death, but the country failed to hold elections on several occasions, citing logistics and violence as the reason for delay. Protests started against
like the United States, we have the Secret Service that looks after like the president and a handful of other like important political officials, and they're considered the most sophisticated security force on the planet. Now, it's kind of like uncanny where most of the globe, when you look at their politicians, it's like they might have one sort of like security personnel that's kind of looking after them and stuff, but it's kind of unsettling how, like, with the president, you always imagine, like, I don't know, like 20 dudes in suits, like the men in black surrounding them, acting as some, like, circular orbiting, like, human shield. And then when you look at, like, presidents and prime ministers of, like, other countries, and they're just kind of, like, walking out in the open, and, like, you don't see any, like, I don't know, like, notable group of personnel or guards, it's like, what do you think? Like, apparently the president is the most deadly job in the country. I know if you don't include the president, then it's loggers, like lumberjacks, apparently are the deadliest job, but... and that's with the Secret Service. So it's like,
yeah, I don't fucking know. More loggers die than presidents, motherfucker. I don't know how much I believe that.
No, it's ratio percentage. Dirt.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like there's been 40-something presidents, and like...
and they've all died up until now.
Yeah, but it's like 7 or 8 of them have been assassinated, so it's just that's like 7 out of 40 people, so that's definitely more than 1%, and I believe with loggers or whatever, it's still less than 1%, or it might be, yeah, so on average, it is the most deadly job.
Fair.
Henry, with waves of gang attacks...
I'm the one that's supposed to be sleep-deprived.
Kidnappings and looting.
Drunk.
When he announced
I'm
elections would be pushed
drinking.
back again to 2025, armed groups increased the number of loot.
Did you know that the research shows that people, their cognition, they have more impaired cognition while sleep deprived than they do when they're intoxicated?
Yep.
Yep.
I can't remember what show it was. It might have been Mythbusters or some shit, but they had a one person sleep deprived for I can't remember, and then the other person had like 4 beers, and the person that was sleep deprived went through the little fucking driving course and fucked up more than the guy that had the beer.
Yeah.
Nah, they should have had Jamie crack a whole fucking 12-pack, sit there, get torqued, and really make it fair.
Yeah, but Mythbusters, I wouldn't necessarily call it like formal research or whatever. But that's a good example. But like even the peer-reviewed, like higher academic show that, yep, that is the case. So what's your excuse?
Yeah, were they actually? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've had a little more than 4 beers when you add it on.
Shootings, rapes, and kidnappings.
People are really afraid, not moving around because they fear their safety and security in areas, especially in areas which are controlled by gangs.
Gangs now control 80% of Port-au-Prince, according to the United Nations.
Thanks, Fid.
A federal judge has denied a motion to dismiss charges against former President Donald Trump's handling of classified documents.
Okay. Maybe we should get to the next topic. Covered Haiti.
Oh man, yeah, talking parrot. That sounds fun. Do that one. Apollo, I know that dude. I know this parrot. Oh, he's freaking out, dude. This is the one who says Shrock. Look, he's wearing the Shrocks.
Ooh, he's adjusting to his new environment.
It's a new place. You ready, Paul? We're gonna go inside, okay?
Yeah, if I get a parrot, it'll probably be an African gray. Because, I mean, just seems like it'd be the most rewarding if I did it right.
And how long do they live?
African greys, I think they actually don't live as long as other parrots, but let me see.
Please. Ready to go back? Ready to go back. But it would be over here.
Yeah, only 23 years. Wait, what the fuck? I saw 23, but so actually the average is 30 in captivity. No, I got it fucked up. 30 in wild, 60 plus in captivity. So, but the average is 45. So yeah, for me, I'm gonna be a one parrot per lifetime kind of guy. I want an African gray when I finally get my money right, when I get my home settled, I'm all good. I'm getting a fucking African gray because it's kind of like having a child. I'd like to rescue one because
it's like it's like what is it? People don't like animals that live for long periods of time. Like then the owners outlive them. And a lot of people don't want that to happen, but they do say that the first person to live to be 140 is alive today. So you know what? Maybe
140?
Yeah. Maybe even older.
You are fucking kidding me. What?
It's gonna be me.
No,
I mean, I don't know. I'm hopeful. I don't want to die. I kind of don't want to just become part of the dirt and cease to exist. That's kind of what I believe. And I'd like, I don't know, some stem cell research or whatever, where it's just nanobots and stem cells come together and work in unison to constantly repair your body and replenish.
The oldest living person is 117.
Well, the point is that if we have reached the singularity with AI and the AI finds a way to create the ultimate stem cell neurotech sort of combo, maybe
all right, so
it will just replenish our body as much as needed. Or we can take our brains and put it in a jar.
Let me offer you let me offer you this devil's bargain. So when you die, technology has only advanced to the point where the best they could do is download you into the fucking Mark Zuckerberg Facebook metaverse. And that's the only way you can persist with your consciousness beyond that. And really, you don't know if you will participate in that or if it'll just be an AI fucking generation of you that your fucking family can interact with and be like, look, it's John. We can still talk to John.
Anything that could potentially result in me not becoming part of the dirt and me being able to enjoy another, I don't know, 1,000 years or two, I'm willing to try it.
Isn't that a Black Mirror episode?
Yep. They the senior citizens. They
yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, but they weren't actually dead yet.
Yeah. Well, no. When they died, they that happened at the end. They would actually upload.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened to that one lady who was bedbound.
Stinky. Or was that burp? I can't tell.
Dude. See, they're a handful.
Here, Apollo, I was just
but if I could deal with all these fucking cats, I can have a bird.
Just get rid of all the cats. Replace it with one.
Yeah.
Close the door. I'm sorry. Okay. Step up.
Average.
Well,
60 years.
Cats have a life expectancy around 20 years, 20-something years, early 20
But you
years.
throw in a bird in the mix with your cats, you know, an accident might happen. The bird might get out. The cats.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's going to be 60 years.
I'm not trying to think of my cats ever fucking dying, but they eventually will, and I'm, cats are a long time investment too. Like I said, I'll be like 40 by the time I get this fucking. But by the time I'm done with these cats, but
that's not what I'm.
I don't want any more cats after this. I love my cats. I love cats. Cats are great, but maybe I'll have one cat. But I want a bird.
No, but that's what I'm getting at. Dirt is like.
I want to cheat.
There might be an accident. The bird or the parrot might get out, and you still have cats. What do cats like to eat? Tweety.
Yeah, that's why. That's what I'm saying. I will wait till I no longer have cats to get a.
Well, a gray parrot might be able to, hold its own against a cat.
Depending on its size, yeah. And like I said, I'd want to rescue one, so he'd probably be old enough to hold his own. Yeah, plus, he can fucking fly. Cats can't fucking fly.
Well, they can fly. I mean, cats have claws, so they could hurt the bird. I'd say they're kind of equally matched, because, their bite, they could really clip the cat. They nip them just right. I mean, that's probably just as much of a efficient weapon as the cat's claws.
Oh, hello.
screaming, dude.
Plus, they're smarter than cats, so they probably know how to be more resourceful and more manipulative.
There you go.
Or
So you
adaptive.
approach. Hey, buddy. What's going on, Apollo? Let's see if the girls want some snacks. You want to sit here?
Yeah, look at those
You
dinosaurs.
want to eat a snack, Apollo? No, you're not ready for snack. Drop. Come on, Soleil, let's go look around. Apollo, do you want to come look around?
Yeah, imagine it grips the cat's paw with its beak right there. Look at what it does to like walnuts. No problem. It's just crunch.
You want to step up, go look around? Let's go look around again. You're doing so good, Apollo.
Oh, sweet, thanks. Young man said I could have Crow.
Windows here.
He doesn't want you anymore, Crow. I'll take you, buddy.
Come on, girls. Are you saying you want to stay at the window? No, there we go.
Oh, dude, they stepped on in unison.
See the squirrel outside? Do you see it?
I'm pretty sure I brought this up before, but Andrew Jackson had a parrot, and he got kicked out of Andrew Jackson's funeral for saying swear words.
Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah. Dude, look at his Shrocs. You see the Shrocs he's got right now, dude?
Okay.
Shrek Crocs? Dude. Styling.
You go out on this porch very soon. You want to go outside? I know you want to go outside. We're going to have to build the aviary. We're going to do that really soon. Here, oh, let's speed over here. Snack? You want to go get a snack? Is it like? Outside? A little bit. Outside. We're looking around, buddy. The burger room? I guess this is the burger room, huh? And this one will mostly be also burger room. Yeah, he's already so much more comfortable. He's not breathing heavy while we're walking around or anything. You're doing really good. Kiss.
Oh my god. I need to resist. Maybe I shouldn't watch this because now I'm getting the urge to get one.
Man, I know, right? They're fucking awesome, but they are a handful, John. Like, it's like having a child.
Well, apparently you can house train them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, yeah. They're smart. They'll learn how to do what you want to do if you, you know, take care of them correctly and train them correctly.
The girls.
There was this video I seen a while back. This guy he's working on his car, and he's like changing a tire or whatnot. And there's like the neighbors called the cops on him because there were screams coming from his house. It was
I saw that.
Yeah. And it turned out to be like, it was like, let me out, I want to go out. And, yeah, and the cops showed up. They're like, hey man, yeah, we got a noise complaint. They were like thinking it was like a kidnapping or some shit. No, it just turns out to be a fucking parrot that wanted out of its cage.
Well, there's
big ass red macaw.
There's also a news story where like there was a homicide. I think it was like a husband like murdered their spouse, and then like what happened was the parrot started to repeat like the conflict and stuff, and that they were going to let him off or whatever. They were going to categorize it as like a I guess just a death, not a homicide. But then they ended up arresting the guy because the parrot kind of I think the sister adopted the parrot, and then the parrot started like kind of replaying the recording of the incident.
Yeah. That dude said, "Hey, motherfucker, I got something to say. You're gonna want to hear this." Fuck. Well, no, it's actually sad because
if it wasn't for that damn parrot.
Really, what it is, it traumatized him because he still is up saying that shit. Like he's like, I imagine that parrot's probably still alive to this day, and he's probably still saying that shit. And it's probably fucking chilling.
He's got
it's probably fucking chilling for the person who owns it.
Here we go. Honestly.
He ain't even with a pistache, bro. He's like, what is this place?
Let's go. Want some more snacks? Yeah, you want some snacks? Okay, can you shake? Good boy. All right, here you go.
What? Rob, seeing results in known outside.
Uh-oh.
Bye. We're working on it. Let's go, Bob. Oh, yeah, that sucks.
Oh, did he make that fucking sound? That's loud as fuck.
I mean, don't they have a vocabulary of like what is it, like close to 80 words?
Dude, no, it was hundreds of words.
Well, they can actually comprehend like the words and stuff. They can. I mean, even dogs and cats, they're able to allocate certain words to meaning.
No, it's 1,000 words.
Jesus. I do know that, like, humans, when it comes to comprehension, like, it's something like the minimum is 200 words to be able to, I guess, articulate at just, like, a basic level. So people who are, like, I guess, developmentally handicapped or stuff, like, it's something where once they get to the point where they can at least, like, use, like, 200 words to articulate, that's where that's the minimum, being able to converse or at least have a conversation efficiently. So it seems like, yeah, they're beyond that limit. They're...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy has a young African Grey, and he's doing a really good job of teaching him. And it's fucking, like, yeah, I've been following this guy for a while.
Okay. Now to the Ukraine
In
conflict.
snow of Finland's high north, Swedish and Finnish troops take part in NATO's biggest exercise since the end of the Cold War. Soldiers from the two countries have trained together for years, but that's now taken on a new dimension as they both integrate deeper into NATO. Finland joined last year, while Sweden now stands poised for entry. Sweden's neutrality lasted through 2 world wars and the Cold War, but Russia's invasion of Ukraine pushed them towards the alliance. Swedish Brigadier
There you
General
go.
Rickard
It's like,
Johansson told Reuters.
they didn't like the expansion of NATO, which is one of their claims for why they were trying to annex regions of the Ukraine and install their own kind of like puppet regime. And they've kind of, even if they do successfully take that land and they have to cede that land to Russia, the amount of land that was now added to NATO is definitely far exceeds the land that they're going to claim.
The training is a chance to learn from their Finnish partners.
And Ukraine, after the war, they probably will be accepted into NATO.
The first months of NATO membership.
I think we have done a lot of preparation for ourselves now, and we are looking forward to be a member of NATO as soon as possible.
The mock engagement involving tanks and training rounds is intended to test the military alliance's ability to reinforce places such as the Nordic far north. It's also a chance for Swedish troops to prepare mentally for potentially defending the borders of a NATO ally. Sweden has said it plans to contribute to NATO's Latvia deployment. Conscript Felix Tors says he feels ready to support another country.
I think it's good. The situation in Europe is really insecure right now, thinking about Russia's invasion in Ukraine. So it feels safe that Sweden will join NATO, so we can receive support from all other NATO countries if something should happen. And we can also give support to those countries that are vulnerable.
In all, about 90,000 troops are set to take part in the wider NATO exercises running through.
And I mean, like, Finland and Sweden also have decent militaries, so they definitely are above the average when it comes to most of like the European NATO states. So they've definitely like increased the military strength of NATO by a decent margin.
And wasn't the deadliest sniper during World War II Swedish, Finnish, or Norwegian?
I think they were Canadian.
No, because they had like 192 confirmed kills. It was like the white ghost of whatever.
I don't know. Maybe that would be fun to look into and do a little story on it next stream. But I do know Canada, their sniping division, that's one of their, like, I guess, divisions of their military that exceeds our own, like, sniper division. So I was thinking maybe they should make a movie where America invades Canada and they start to close in on Toronto, and then it's just a group of a few hundred snipers that hold the line and fight off the entire U.S. military. What do you think of that?
I like it.
Yes.
Oh, I was right.
Once we are able to use AI to make a movie, it's one of our. It will be like a variation of 300.
Yeah, dude.
The Canadian Monopoly, War of the Persia, and then the 300 snipers instead of the 300 snipers.
We'll call it Toronto.
Yeah.
I was right though. Yeah, it was Finnish. He was Finnish. 505 confirmed kills during the Winter War of 1934 between Finland and the Soviet Union.
Yeah. Now, how many of those kills do you think were from, like, trucks and tanks and stuff driving over the ice? Because that's one of the things they would do. They would shoot the ice, and it would break the ice and cause the vehicles to pretty much become submerged and everything. So, yeah. maybe that's one of the things that got his kill count up. Now, I mean, at first when this war happened, it made you think that, yeah, Russia's fucking terrible. It's like, yet another 2 people died. And then the Israel-Hamas, like, conflict happened, and Hamas went in and killed over 1,000 people. And then Israel, it's like another airstrike, 30 kids dead. It's like... And the thing is, like... It sucks, but when you look at statistics, it kind of shows how fucked up humans are. Because things are less violent now than ever before in human history. And we look at these wars where they're like in the tens of thousands. And this is viewed as very, very tragic. But it's like in the earlier half of the 20th century, it was typical for wars to be in the death toll of millions. So it's taken us a while to go from, millions of people dying here and there to just thousands of people dying here and there. So we're making progress. We need to get to the point where it's just hundreds of people dying here and there, and then maybe we can get into a type 1 society.
A Ukrainian missile struck the Russian border city of...
Now, what do you think? Now, when I'm kind of a misanthrope, I don't think humans are completely hopeless. But I do kind of think that there's some natural facet of human psychology that drives people to war.
I think it's natural. I think war is natural because it's like our own way of
natural selection, carrying capacity.
Yeah, like curbing the population and whatnot. So like you get up to a certain point, 2 groups are just butting heads, and then they have a conflict, and then like they don't know it, but it's helping like the whole world's population go down, and like it'll fluctuate and whatnot.
Well, I think it's this primal element of evolution where it's like you got any like group animal, like pack animal, you got like carrying capacity within a particular region. There's limited food, water, shelter, and space, and like only one lion pride can live within a certain radius, only one hyena clan, wolf pack, whatever, one troop of chimpanzees, so they're gonna fight over that territory, and humans do the same thing. But when you look at all of human history, it's like it's something like 90-something% of human history is prehistory, falls before the ancient age. So it's like you look at that, and even through most of post what is it? Sleep deprivation, word retrieval again. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's almost like human beings kind of naturally driven towards this in-group, out-group, in-group, out-group sort of war. But people are like, no, I don't like that. Confirmation bias, illusionary optimism. That's not rainbows and sunshine. Other animals are kind of naturally driven towards, like, violence, predator-prey sort of dynamics. But humans, no, we're the exception. We're just naturally peaceful. Humans in their natural setting are just loving and accepting and get along perfectly. There's no natural... It's not like kids or the highest grossing films or action movies and so forth. No. Humans aren't naturally kind of attracted to that. What do you think? You think people are probably being believing what they want to believe?
Yeah.
You look at that illustration of like the analogy of confirmation bias, and it's like you got the one kiosk that's uncomfortable truths, and it's completely vacant line, and then you have the other kiosk, which is comforting lies, and then it has a line that like extends outside the borders of the image. And I think people do that when it comes to dark facets of human nature and human psychology. It's just, I'm gonna get in the line of comforting lies because I don't like that. That's not rainbows and sunshine, so I'm gonna turn my brain off and ignore it, because that's how facts work.
Belgorod on Saturday. This video released by Russian media outlet Ostaroshno Novsty shows plumes of smoke coming out from an apartment building.
Yes,
A
I
separate drone shot also set an oil
100%
refinery
agree. Young-minded, we suck.
on fire in Russia's Samara region. These Ukrainian attacks came on the second day of a Russian presidential election. Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused Kiev of trying to disrupt. Russia's defense ministry said it had repelled attempts by Ukrainian forces to cross the border into Belgorod region, where attacks from Ukraine have become part of daily life. The governor there said schools and shopping centers would close for safety. Ukraine has staged repeated strikes this week on Russian soil, particularly targeting oil refineries. Russia mounted its deadliest attack in weeks on Friday, when its missiles hit a residential area in Ukraine's Black Sea port city of Odessa, killing scores of people. The Kremlin is hoping for a high election turnout to demonstrate that
I do agree that Russia is the villain in this particular war, and what they're doing is fucked up when it comes to firing the missiles and stuff. But look at Russia, and look at how much we brand them as the bad guys, the villains, the tyrants, and they're launching these missiles, and innocent people die in the process. But look at how many less people die when Russia and Putin, the supervillain, launched their missile strikes. They're what is it? It's the dumb missiles. And then you got Israel and the IDF, and it's kind of seems like a lot more people are dying. But it seems like I don't know. But Hamas attacked them, so because they were wrong when it came to their terrorist attack, it makes the IDF in the right.
Country is united
Because
behind
things are
Putin.
that black and white.
The election is all but certain to hand him 6 more years in the Kremlin.
Nuance, what's that?
Putin's leading critics are in prison or have fled abroad, prompting the opposition to call the vote a sham. But overall turnout rose about 50% by the afternoon of day 2. Some of the highest rates, approaching 70%, were reported in the Belgorod region and in Russian-controlled regions of Ukraine, where Kiev says voting is illegal and void. Russia's governing party, United Russia, said on Saturday that it was facing a widespread denial-of-service attack, a form of cyber attack aimed at paralyzing web traffic, and had suspended non-essential services to repel it.
More humanitarian aid from Cyprus will soon be heading to war-torn Gaza. Workers from the U.S. charity World Central Kitchen loaded desperately...
Okay, so now we're on to Gaza. We got through Haiti, we got through Russia and Ukraine, now we're on to Israel and Gaza.
Needed food and supplies onto a cargo vessel at a port nearby to ship into the enclave. Hamas has released new details of a possible ceasefire proposal. It includes the release of hostages, and now the ball is in Israel's court. Madeline Rivera has more from Washington. As the fighting rides on in the Gaza Strip...
Now, I mentioned, so there's PPP, there's the dark humor news coverage podcast. Maybe we should also consider the title, Fucked Up Humanity Podcast.
Yeah, the fucking
Human Suck podcast.
The Misanthropy podcast.
Yes, I remember when we had. Maybe we should change the segment "Kittens and Carnage" to the Misanthropy segment. But yeah, I remember when Miss Parker was on, and we were covering the story with the Philippines and what the president was doing, just locking everybody up and. These sardine can cages. Then we got to Yemen and the famine, and then we went to Cameroon, and how the English-speaking militia didn't like how there was also the French-speaking population. They were going in and burning the villages, and then Miss Parker's just humans suck.
Would release Israeli women, children, the elderly, and those with health issues in exchange for up to 1,000 Palestinian prisoners. After that, both sides would agree on a date for Israel's withdrawal from Gaza, followed by the release of the remaining hostages. It's not yet clear how Israel would respond, but it's unlikely they'd order a full stop to their offensive.
We are willing to pay a heavy price to bring back the hostages, but one thing we will not compromise, and that's our demand, not to stop the war until Hamas is eradicated.
The new proposal was announced just one day...
Wait, did you say Karen? Karen murdered? That's important. We need to go back. Oh, it's another name. Kareen or... Okay.
The new proposal was announced just one day after Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer suggested Israel hold new elections, a direct shot at Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Those comments prompting significant criticism from Israeli officials. Even Benny Gantz, Netanyahu's political rival, called Schumer's suggestion, quote, incorrect and unacceptable. The Biden administration now distancing itself from Schumer's remarks, saying he was speaking for himself, not the White House.
I'm sure that they fully understand that he speaks for himself. He's obviously someone we're in close contact with, but it's not a statement from the executive branch.
Let's take a live look right here over at one of the many images that we do have coming out of the area of the Middle East. This is actually where we expect that ship carrying a shipment of food and aid to arrive over in Gaza, and then it will be transported to the areas that are in need as the war does continue. Now,
do you think it will actually arrive this time and 100 people won't be gunned down in the process?
It'll be sunk.
As far as details go,
but Hamas did it.
War cabinet is discussing the possibility of finalizing a hostage deal offered up by Hamas. Israel's prime minister calling the terror group's proposal, quote, ridiculous, as it reportedly includes the release of Israeli hostages in exchange for the freedom of as many as 1,000 Palestinian prisoners, 100 of them serving life sentences. The deal appears to include an initial release of Israeli hostages, including women, children, elderly, and those who are ill. There's also a permanent ceasefire included in that latest proposal.
Now,
with a permanent date.
this is where, like, we're not gonna, like, a lot of people like to play the, like, even a lot of Americans who aren't, like, Islamic, because a lot of people like to claim it's just Islamic, people, or citizens, but you'll see people be like, well, hey, look at what they're doing and stuff, and Hamas, like, they're rebelling, but still, Hamas is fucked up, probably even as fucked up as the IDF. They're both disgusting, like, regimes, and Hamas here, where it's like, yeah, we want 1,000 people, and it's just, like, no. You got all these people dying. Israel might back off if they do that. It sucks that you have to do this to mitigate what the IDF is doing, but the least amount of casualties, the better. So if they were, like, want to show that they're the more ethical party, maybe they should just trade, like, 60, like, Hamas or Palestinian prisoners for the 60-something hostages. Seems like if they really cared, that might be what they would do.
To be sent after the initial release of hostages and prisoners. I do want to bring in Dr. Asaf Romarowski, the Executive Director of Scholars for Peace in the Middle East, to talk more about all of this and the latest developments out of the Middle East. Good morning, and thank you so much for being here with us today.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
All right, so first off, we have some limited details that are starting to come in on this deal, and we know that Netanyahu has called it, quote-unquote, ridiculous. What are your thoughts overall on what we know about this potential hostage release and ceasefire deal?
Well, the reports, as you said, I mean, are still initial and are still, like, coming in slowly. There was pressure that was coming in from the Qataris as far as Doha, because
and I don't know, like, this is another area when it comes to military tactics, I'm going to admit it's very complicated. I'm not an expert there, so when it comes to releasing 1,000 militants, I mean, could that potentially result in more people dying in the long run? I don't know, and I'm not going to say confidently that, like, yeah, that definitely won't happen. But I mean, based on, like, if you talk to the people who are the professionals here that can crunch the numbers and be like, okay, like, if they're released, what is the potential of them actually following through and, like, wreaking, like, causing the death of more lives than it would to, like, contain them. But if that's the case where it won't result in more people dying, and it's just a matter of, like, no, these people committed crimes, we need to, like, hold them. It's like maybe releasing them and saving the 60 innocent people. It's just like, didn't Benjamin Franklin say that it's better for 10 guilty men to go free than one innocent man to be found, like, falsely found to be guilty? So it's like, maybe we should let 1,000 guilty people free to save 60 innocent people. That's another area where it's like, if I was Hamas, I'd be like, okay, no, like, I'm willing to just get the least amount of prisoners for the, like, hostage exchange as possible. If I was, like, Israel, I'd want to be like, you know what, maybe I would let all these people free if it means that these 60 innocent people can go free.
Well, in Haiti, they let 4,000 people free. How many of those guys were 60 were innocent?
Yeah, and there's that. So it's also like, how many criminals across the globe are serving just sentences for their crimes? Like, it's like, hey, if you're caught with a gun, 20 years in prison. That's what they said. How many Americans are in prison serving much more time than they should? So then it's also whether you're guilty of a crime or not, how many people are just in there because they're speaking out against the government and so forth. And I know that's not the case here, but it's the case, like, in Russia and a lot of other countries. So then there's that. It's like, you're releasing all these prisoners, and how many of them are you honestly going to claim are genuinely prisoners? It's like Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King were arrested, and they were branded as criminals. It's like the Oscar Schindler was breaking the law, and people that were harboring, like, Jewish gypsy refugees were technically criminals. So then there's that level of nuance that people ignore.
Comment saying that if they don't kind of bring it down up to
Wait, quick
reality,
question.
then potentially Doha will start deploying Hamas.
Dirt, is that sweatshirt actually blue?
It's actually kind of off-white with a lavender tint.
Leadership. I think the Hamas is trying to gain the widest possible net, or throw out there the widest possible net as possible in order to end the war itself. However, any ending of the war, of course, allows them to rearm and continue where we are now. For the Israelis, anything short of dismantling.
Okay, next vid.
Russians have begun voting in a presidential election, which Vladimir Putin is certain to win when the polls close on Sunday. There have very
So,
unusually...
do you think this is a mock election, or do you think...
Yes.
Yeah.
been some protests?
Yes, I do, actually.
But it says that he's president. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's going to be elected president
who was
again.
elected in office. I forget his name, but the president of Syria he was elected in. Yeah.
I heard Putin has
Jong-un. Like he's elected by 100% of the nation every single election.
year.
Look at how much they love him.
I heard Putin has another election in November, but not in his country.
Die into a ballot box.
Well, they've already been doing that in territories that they've seized. What's that?
I like Crow's joke.
Yeah, but they've already done that in a lot of those territories that they've annexed.
President Putin faces no serious offense. His rivals dead, in prison, or in exile. This report is from our Russia editor, Steve Rosenberg.
Russia's democracy is the best in the world, the Kremlin says. And at polling station 38 in Moscow, we found a choice of candidates and plenty of voters. Democracy in action, right? Not quite. Realistically, only one man can win this. Vladimir Putin! The man who's been on Russia's political stage for the last quarter of a century. Vladimir Putin faces no serious challenger. His fiercest rivals are in exile or in prison. Not that Allah.
Well, I mean, don't you think that's pretty, fucked up that the only people like Trump is on trial and stuff? Like, what is the world coming to? Maybe he should be president when all these people are, felons.
Whose son is fighting in Ukraine.
Bad joke.
Any change at the top.
Whatever.
Of course I voted for Putin, she says. I trust him.
I think I've had more hits than misses this stream. So, fuck you. Piece of
Yeah,
shit.
you're on fire, John. You're on fire.
You can throw shit at a wall and see what sticks.
Voting.
Well, what happens when most of it's sticking?
It's still
He's got a
shit.
good arm.
Maybe I'm throwing...
He's got a decent arm.
Maybe I'm throwing, sugar plums and stuff at the wall that are sticking instead of turds.
Yeah, dude. He's not even in the shit game.
Yeah.
What if he's on another level?
Dude, let's go back and see how many times I've made Dirt laugh this stream. Piece of shit.
Man, it's like...
Dude, you're gaslighting if you say, if I go back...
How many?
my streams and look at how many
I'm
times...
just jealous because I never make you laugh, John.
Yeah. Well, I am emotionally blunted. But don't feel bad about that. But in the end, I think you guys are full of shit. I need to start doing that. I got to do the let's go back and look at each.
Oh, I made Dirt laugh. Timestamp it. Timestamp it. Timmy, clip that.
Yep.
One of a string of attacks on polling stations across Russia. They're unprecedented.
And I'm doing it sleep deprived.
After chaotic
I don't know. I think it gives you an edge, John. You're kind of wacky. You're kind of loopy.
Well,
I'm just
to
kidding.
be fair,
John?
I did take medication to wake me up. So.
Well, you need to go to sleep sometime.
An arsonist is detained.
I'll take drugs to help me go to sleep.
There you go.
Ink poured into a ballot box.
See, why have a circadian rhythm when you can just make your own with drugs?
The authorities
This election interference.
Some voters were greeted with a show.
Now, to be fair, what if somebody did that in America? Can't tamper with elections like that. That's also vandalism, it's destruction of property.
One way to bang the drum for Russian elections. There is voting too in parts of Ukraine, which are under Russian occupation. What Russia calls its new territories. The Ukrainian government called the election here illegal. Polls close on Sunday night. Expect a Putin landslide.
Unpredictability is very much a feature of life now in Russia.
But that does not apply to elections. The political system here is built around one man, Vladimir Putin, and the Kremlin tightly controls that system, including elections. So Mr. Putin's re-election is not in doubt. And neither is the message the Kremlin will be sending after this, that Vladimir Putin has the full support of his people. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News, Moscow.
Well, in Ukraine, these were the scenes today in the city of Odessa on the Black Sea, the result of the latest Russian missile strike.
Do you think that this building can be restored, or do you think it's totaled? And do you think that car is totaled?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, made you laugh. Piece of shit.
You shut
Fuck
the
you.
fuck up. You just shut the fuck up, John.
It just needs new tires and an oil change. It'll be fine.
More than 70 injured in this residential neighborhood. Meanwhile, in Russia, there's been shelling by Ukraine of border towns. This is Belgorod. Ukraine has carried out a series of such attacks in recent days. The Kremlin has accused Kiev of attempting to disrupt the Russian presidential election. Well, our correspondent Sarah Rainsford is in Ukraine's capital, Kiev, for us now, and a significant attack this on Odessa, Sarah.
It is. This is the deadliest attack in some time on Odessa, and it is the details that are particularly grim because Ukrainian officials are saying 2 missiles were fired by Russia from Crimea. The first one landed on the city, and it was when emergency teams rushed to the spot that a second missile was fired from Crimea and hit exactly the same place. Now, we know that a medic was killed, a young firefighter was also amongst those killed and injured. Many dozens of people are in hospital. Now, we are being told that those missiles that were fired from Crimea, we're saying we don't know what exactly Russia was targeting, but we do know there were some Interior Ministry personnel amongst the casualties. Now, President Zelensky tonight has called this a vile attack. He said Ukraine's military will respond. But I do think it is a stark reminder of what that vote in Russia means for here in Ukraine. Because, of course, more Vladimir Putin in the Kremlin means more war here in Ukraine. It means more missile attacks. It means more days like today in Odessa with dozens of dead and injured.
Air raid sirens are an almost daily disturbance for the southern Russian city of...
Dude, it's like I mentioned before, like you have the people that don't flee because they just don't care. Like, it's usually older people. And it's like, I've like when you watch videos, like there's this one, it was like 10 years ago, like in Libya, when like a little bit after they like found and executed like Gaddafi and everything. Hope I'm pronouncing it right, but
Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah, and like they went to one of the war-torn cities, and they were like they're just these old men sitting there playing chess, and you can see that like their complex was still mostly intact. A small bit of it was like blown off at the edge, but then you see the apartment building that's a crisp next to it, and then they just hear bullets in the background. It's like, whatever. We've lived here our whole lives. If we die, it's what it is. And it's just and then here you saw people running, but it's like when people are in these war-torn situations, it's just it's kind of like you just gotta, like with COVID, just gotta go about it, adjust to it, go about your daily routine, your 9 to 5, and it's just like, imagine that, like, people just walk by, you see a blanket covered over a victim who suffered a bullet wound. And it's
because they weren't wearing a mask.
Yeah, and it's just like a pedestrian, like the pedestrian effect. It's, very, very unsettling.
Belgorod. The rush for cover, a reminder of the full-scale war with Ukraine that exists.
It's the bystander effect.
Bystander, yep.
I think what we're doing, that's the pedestrian effect.
Drone and missile strikes from Ukraine since February 2022. Kiev denies targeting civilians, just as Moscow does, despite Russia having launched drones and missiles against Ukraine, killing thousands of civilians and causing hundreds of billions of dollars worth of damage. Comparatively, Belgorod remains largely unscathed. But in the worst civilian loss of life from foreign enemy fire in internationally recognized Russian territory since World War II...
Dude, and like, this is fucked up collateral, but then look at Gaza. It's just... And I know Gaza is much more densely populated and stuff, and like when it comes to residential buildings, it's like things are definitely more sparse, like when it comes to like the urban design in Ukraine, but still, it's just... But before the Israeli-Palestine conflict happened, and the Russian-Ukraine like war was the big thing that the media was covering, and you see like that one image we saw with like the totaled car and the building that was just completely burnt to a crisp. It's like, oh god, this fucked up. And then the Israeli-Hamas conflict happens, and then it's just, look at all that collateral.
John, did you see what Bryant said? He said,
that?
trying to get groceries in a war zone? Get over it and pick yourself up by the bootstraps.
Well, I mean, that is, like, I don't think people should have to do that, but it is kind of fucked up because that is kind of like what happens, ironically, and yeah. And I think a lot of Americans, like conservatives, like the fat fucks in their recliners, like that just like sink into their recliner at the end of the day and spend like the average American spends 6 hours a day watching TV, and they just sit there, live their sedentary lifestyle. It's like, pull yourself up out of bootstraps. I'm sure if they were in this setting, they would really like acclimate it to it very well. They wouldn't.
What people really need to do.
They wouldn't be sucking their thumb. No, go ahead.
What people really need to do is spend 6 hours watching the PPP instead of TV.
Wounded in missile attacks on the city in December last year.
What's better? 6 hours of CNN or like Fox News, or 6 hours of the PPP? Just tell me which one's more entertaining. We got more personality that we bring to it, more flavor, and that's me bringing more personality to it, and that's saying something. Make it laugh, motherfucker.
You know, I'm a sucker for a good self-deprecation, Joe.
Yeah. As the three-day presidential election began on Friday, a missile alert forced election officials to take shelter at a polling station. Voting was briefly halted, according to Russia's RIA state, a news agency. Despite the constant threat, Putin's popularity remains strong. Supplies for soldiers are collected by civilian volunteers like Galina to help bring the conflict to an end, she says. She told Reuters her decision to vote for Putin is clear.
You know what? A bath? Oh, a dab. Okay.
Dab.
Made it
I
laugh.
thought you said nap.
A bath? That's funny.
This is the only person who has strengthened all the position of our country since he came to power. Financially, economically, and politically. I believe that the work that he has now started in terms of a special military operation, he must complete it.
In Shibakino, just 4 miles from the border, pensioner Valentina feels the same.
I will vote for Putin. Whom else could I choose? He seems to be a clever man. I think so. Although my in-law doesn't agree with me, but I tell her, no, we should vote for Putin.
Over 600 children were moved away from the town.
It's just old fucks that are just like, this is all I know. He's been president since I was alive. Like, oh, yeah, my younger in-laws disagree with me. That's because they can see through the fucking smoke screen and you just blindly follow.
Well, I do think that, I don't know, like, I do think that it's kind of the average, like, Joe that kind of, just kind of gets in line and kind of just, like, kind of conforms to the status quo. I think we live in a day and age, like, with the internet and stuff, I think that probably contributes to it. But it's like, again, Nazi Germany, it's like, they're following orders. They're just doing their civic duty.
Was hit by shelling in May and June last year. Valentina hopes the war will
end the bandwagon effect.
And that people who left would come back.
Of course they do. Everyone wants to come back home.
But there is, maybe like Crow has a point, because I do know that it's estimated that, like, 25 is when your brain stops developing, and apparently 25 is when people tend to be more set in their way. And that does seem to be something where it's just once people get to their like mid-20s and up, it's like, I was making that joke earlier, like, yeah, the decade I grew up in, that's where everything peaked and stuff, and I'll pretend that I respect things before the decade I grew up in because they're classics, but I don't want to watch them at all. They're too old, and then everything new sucks. It's all like there aren't any good modern movies or games and stuff. Everything's just crap, and like I do think there's that natural element, and once people get to their like around the age 25, it's just they kind of, and you think about it, it's just like the way like society changes so quickly now. Like in previous generations, or throughout most of human history, the kind of lifestyle you lived would be like close to identical to the lifestyle your ancestors 3 generations before, your predecessors 3 generations following would live. And I do think that, and then the openness to experience out of the 5-factor personality model, it's the one that has the strongest correlation with intelligence. People who tend to be more set in their ways and conscientious and so forth tend to be more, tend to have scored lower when it comes to the IQ test. People who are more open to try new things, they tend to be the brighter minds out there, the ones that are eclectic. See, they have elections in Russia.
Yeah, but it's just muttering, and they're like all muttering like, "If I don't vote for Vlad, I'm dead."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. People are like, they elected Hamas into office. It's like, yeah. It's like, you piece of shit. You've clearly done your homework. It definitely was a fair election. The same way, like, Putin. They elected Putin. It's their fault. Oh, same thing.
Well, he is enjoying himself. Look at these fellas just having a good time. They lay shit to rubble and they say, "Yeah, what fun." All the material in this report was filmed by Israeli soldiers in the occupied Gaza Strip. Soldiers shared the media on social media platforms. The listening post collected and reviewed more than 250 photos and videos over the course of 4 months.
Okay.
All right, so these are IDF memes. We've asked that 3 human rights and torture experts assess the material.
Okay, just that little clip of those videos, like, no, you should not be enjoying, like, blowing up a building that has potentially people in it. They're fucking, like...
It's like Call of Duty in real life, and Call of Duty's fun.
Well, fucking keep it in
Keep it within Call of Duty, I agree. Oh, made you laugh.
You just sure did.
There has been a remarkable number of videos posted by Israeli soldiers on social media depicting themselves pillaging property, mocking the death and destruction that they are causing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's IDF memes, dude.
I know, but...
War crimes.
Yeah, imagine...
Ooh, he's pilfering and pillaging in front of a baby's crib. He's juicing and saucing and bossing, dude.
It's like when we backed out of Afghanistan and you had like Al-Qaeda, they were like in the go-karts or the bumper cars at the carnival and everything.
That was pretty lit. This is much less tasteful.
Yeah, like, I agree. Well, the one without like Al-Qaeda was also pretty tasteful. I mean, they're a pretty aggressive regime, and
I mean, dude, but to see them on the bumper cars, man, just having a good time.
And they were having so much fun, though. It's like, come on,
right? These motherfuckers, dude. It's like nobody can have a good thing. Like this motherfucker, like literally riding on the unicycles, little bicycles that were owned by children they likely killed. This is disgusting.
But to be fair, it's like with like Al-Qaeda and stuff, they
well, I say they likely killed. This place could have been long ago.
No, they definitely did.
Yeah, but
allegedly.
Like, with Al-Qaeda, where they went in, they can't just like kind of come to terms with what's fun and like kind of following the religion in too much of a draconian manner, burning down the carnival. At least with them, like the Israelis, it's like they're probably not going to burn the watches that they're taking, having fun pillaging and stuff. They're probably gonna stick to like what they know is entertaining and like, you know, live life to its fullest. Live life in the moment. Enjoy it.
No, I'm pretty sure taking souvenirs is against the Geneva Convention or some shit like that.
But
well, that sucks.
It's their loot crates.
Sorry. Dude, I mean, you know, look, see, I get, you know, maybe they qualifies as pillaging or whatever. But dude,
no,
you think
pillaging.
I'm not... If I come across some fancy shit, if I'm fucking, you know, drafted and sent off to fucking fill the boots of some poor sucker, then damn, I'm gonna have a hard time not taking something.
I don't know.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but if I saw a golden watch and it's like that urge kicks in, I
guess if
hesitation. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit. Do you pull the lever or not? But
yeah,
it is just, I can see.
I like that, John.
Yeah.
I like that. You're humble for that. You're humble for that one, John. I like that.
Back in the day,
it's a subversion of expectation.
Back in the day with like ISIS, I can't remember if it was an ISIS soldier or an American soldier, but you know how they have body plates? So this one soldier was going around and stealing shit, and he found this laptop, and he replaced one of his like front chest body plates with that laptop so he could steal it. He ended up getting shot where that body plate should have been. So it went through the laptop and killed him.
I like how young-minded's like shaking my head, Gene.
Yep. Young-minded
most
shook his head.
Torturing,
what's this one?
humiliating, and mocking
Oh,
Palestinians.
no, that's terrible.
It's like when we covered the prison episode, the Carrero like prison in like Brazil, and it's just like a giant array of human skin lining them all up and shit. I mean, it's almost as like chaotic
This is fucked. This is fucked.
This is like Guantanamo Bay type of shit.
No, it's like the Carrero prison, which is worse than Guantanamo.
Fuck that. No, this is beyond that. These people were rounded up. Like, this is awful, dude. Look at his pee-pee. He pee-pee himself because he's so scared that he has guns and a blindfold in front of his face. I hate this fucking world, dude. Good thing I'm in hell.
But what does that say when it's like, it's just things are less violent now, and war is happening much less often now than ever before. And it's like you go back, look.
This
at
shit is
casualties
particular. Forgive me for saying, but I do believe this shit is particularly gruesome, and the people who participated in this, including the American government, will be on the wrong side of history.
It is fucked up. Like, I agree, but I'm just saying that, like, when you look at it, it just shows how fucked up human beings are. So I'm getting to the, like, misanthropy here. It's just, look at how fucked up humans are. The fact that this is less fucked up than it's been in, like, you look at Vietnam and, like, when we did the worst prisons episode, look at how, like,
See, no. So when you say this is the least violent time in human history, you're talking about a number of averages. This here is what we call an outlier.
Yeah, but it's also, it's the fact that this happened much more often. And there's even, it's just, what does it say? When it's like, we're getting better, and this is where we're at, and it's taken us thousands of years to get to this point.
Well, some people just can't help but regress.
There's a hole.
This is awful. This is so fucking awful. And part of it is the opportunisticness of it and the war in Russia and Ukraine, where resources are being diverted towards that, as well as other turmoil in this fucking torn up, fucked up world that is going on right now as we speak. That, you know, the more shit kicks off, the more people are like, oh, fuck it. Well, they're getting away with it. Let's fucking pop off. And next thing you know, they'll say World War III started in 2019.
There is a hole in front of those people in the foreground. I guarantee you that's where we're going to find them. And there's a reason why there's a fucking ditch for the big fucking group. It's just going to be a mass graveyard.
So it's I slightly got it wrong. It's the Carandura prison. I guess they made a movie off of it. And this was one of the prisons we covered, which is like one of the worst prisons in human history. And this is what it reminds me of. Ugh, God, maybe we should watch this movie for the Patreon movie hangout.
Dude, we're 2 days away from Leprechaun 4, 3.
No, after
3?
Leprechauns, maybe we can get to this.
John, can I propose you a question?
Yeah.
We're running out of March months, dude. What if this Monday, because you're just on such a streak, we watch Leprechaun 3 and Leprechaun 4, Leprechaun in Space? Just so next Monday, we have 2 more Mondays left in March. So in order to get through the original series, we will have to watch 2 Leprechauns this week and 2 Leprechauns next week. This week it would be Leprechaun 3 and Leprechaun in Space, and next week it would be Leprechaun in the Hood and Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
And then Leprechaun in Atlantis.
No, next is like a bunch of they recast. It's like fucking
Leprechaun in Gaza.
remake bullshit. No, we're only gonna watch the original Leprechaun movies because that's what it's all about.
And then when Halloween,
what do you say, John? The next 2 PPP movie night Mondays is a double feature.
Yeah, but I just sparked a memory. I was joking with like the Leprechaun in Atlantis, but remember there was a cartoon that was Kong of Atlantis?
I never seen no Kong of Atlantis.
Well, I've never seen it, but I remember there were commercials for it, and
I've never heard of no Kong of Atlantis.
let me look it up.
Kong of Atlantis. Aquaman, King of Atlantis.
Aquaman, yeah.
No. There was
Aquaman. Aquaman, King of. Dude, I think you're full of shit, John. I think
No. We're gonna find.
You're having delusions, John. How long have you been awake now?
Maybe that's it.
You're having
could
delusions. King Kong of Atlantis. What? Kong, King of Atlantis? Queen Reptilia?
Yeah, I was right! Yup, 2005!
Oh shit, what the fuck is this?
Maybe we should watch it. Jesus.
What the fuck is this? Dude, I'm a Godzilla nerd. How have I never heard of this, bro? I guess Kong isn't Godzilla, but
I
I've
remember
never...
on Cartoon Network, this is like a straight-to-video film, and they kept advertising this on TV.
I never fucking saw this. I never heard of this shit. King of Atlantis.
Yeah, Kong King of Atlantis. Good thing they have the colon there.
Dude, while we're on the diatribe, John, have you seen the trailer for the latest Godzilla movie coming out this month?
Nah.
Pull it up.
Well,
pull it up.
No, well,
pull it up.
No,
I'm a
there's
nerd for shit.
copyright.
Pull it up.
And I'm not able to look at the. Yeah, I'm not able to look at the live chat, like the control room where it tells you. So whenever I do trailers, I'm always looking at that to make sure.
Oh, that's so dumb. I hate this world.
Only has a 4-point rating.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but that's
It
the
looks
point
terrible.
of
Queen
the patron.
Reptilia, dude.
That's the point of the patron like films, to watch these weird bad movies to do commentary on.
That might be one to pull up, dude.
Yeah.
Might be one to pull up.
Let's get back to the genocide.
Of torture of
Yeah,
numbering
fuck.
their bodies, which is reminiscent of images all of us have seen from Guantanamo and Abu Ghraib. These images are testament to what Palestinians have long been saying, which is that this settler colonial regime is utterly violent. They show the nature through which this genocide is unfolding in the Gaza Strip. They also show the extreme brutality and torture, violence, utter disregard of human life, transforming these violent conducts into a spectacle to be viewed.
Wait.
On social
Young
media
Minded
boards.
said, I think he said he saw the Kong King of Atlantis.
Nice.
What?
The Kong King.
Give us a synopsis of like what would you score it out of like 5? Or no, out of 10. So like IMDb. What would your IMDb submission be?
Specific intelligence about
Uno out of
actually fighting
10.
Hamas, and because they lack
Young mind.
intelligence, they therefore are rounding up everyone in order to hope to extract information through interrogation. The fact that they've been stripped to their
See? Yup. Maybe we are regressing.
underwear is, a manifestation of cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment, which is also illegal in addition to torture. The fact that they're photographing these things, it's like trophy shots. What this depicts, I think, very vividly is dehumanization and torture.
Who do you think deserves the first place trophy?
The idea that
Based on what
somebody
you've seen.
Whichever
Who gets second
one.
place? Who gets first place?
The
Brazil
first-
or Israel?
The first country that does human centipede.
Well, the Soviet Union, they did that. They had a prison in Ukraine, and remember the world's worst prisons like episode. They show the images of what they were fucking doing, and then like Dr. Mendele, like in Israel, he was like sewing identical twins together. So they've done that.
It can be just like their body is just being attacked, in their most vulnerable position. His hands are bound behind his back. He's lying face down. Soldiers stepping on his
Dude,
face.
we probably should do another deep dive on some of the most fucked up prisons, and I need to dig those up and just upload them, like on the video, so they're not buried in the live streams. And then I also need to upload them to like Rumble and stuff, because a bunch of it, like we covered a prison in Madagascar that was I had to cut out like 40 minutes of the stream because of it, but I still have it on like other platforms, so I need to go and find it, and then I need to upload it on Rumble or some other platform where they're not going to take it down.
In a sense, it epitomizes.
John, you want to know what's
torture.
a coincidence?
It's that.
I'm watching this stream, watching her, watching a video on an Asus laptop. My monitor is an Asus.
Is it pronounced Asus or Asus?
Asus? I don't.
Asus.
Zeus.
Asus. Asus.
ISIS.
Asus.
Purposefully harming someone who's in custody. That custodial relationship is a particularly vulnerable one, where the custodians have all the power, and the prisoner, who is in this case not only on the ground and tied up, but completely powerless.
The images are showing us and telling us how central imprisonment or carceral practices are to the settler colonial regime. The torture, humiliation, and degrading conduct against Palestinians is not simply restricted to the Gaza Strip. There are also images and videos that have been circulating from the West Bank. Since October 7th, over 7,000 Palestinians have been detained, which is a number unheard of over the past decade.
Israeli forces have disappeared thousands of Palestinian prisons from the Gaza Strip, including men, women, and children.
Disappeared, yeah.
Palestinians say they have experienced severe beating. Well, they probably have. They're missing persons reports. It's like natural disasters where earthquakes, tsunamis. It's like this many people died, this many people are missing, and after they're missing for so and so months, it's like, yep, they're dead.
No, I don't think that's right. I think the whole IDF are magicians. They just disappeared them.
Well, I wouldn't be too skeptical of like the scenario of them putting bags over a lot of their heads, and they're probably in some IDF prison somewhere. So probably a decent amount. Like it's most likely a minority, but there's probably a decent minority of them that are probably in some prison where it's some underground Guantanamo Bay.
Israeli soldiers have quite remarkably taken to converting their massive, really unprecedented destruction
Where's Bill Hicks and Skeptical Jesus? Usually they're always around.
of Palestinian homes, hospitals, mosques, universities, churches, schools into entertainment videos.
Well, it is Sunday, so Skeppy probably, that's his day off.
Yes.
He's doing Jesus shit.
Fuck Jesus.
There's one video where Israeli soldiers are showing some residential homes that they've set on fire and attached a song.
Now, how do we know Hamas didn't catch those on fire?
This house is on fire.
There have been
Wait. Was he singing? Jeez.
Yeah.
God, fuck, Jesus Christ! It's not even like them like editing it and layering like the audio. It's just God, they're having fun doing a little karaoke as you light these residents on fire.
And
but Hamas attacked them first.
I don't know if it was like just a random person going through this or like someone that was tasked to go through these videos, but on that last video where he was singing, it was hashtag for you. So if it was just like some random person going through TikTok or whatever, they're looking at other stuff too. But if it was someone like tasked to like find all those videos, I'd find that more, acceptable. But if it's just some random person being like, "Hey, I found this video," well, why is it hashtag for you? Oh, no reason.
Many images of Israeli soldiers who've ransacked Palestinian homes and confiscated their personal goods. One in particular is the red negligee that appears to be seen in so many Israeli videos where Israeli soldiers are mocking and advertising their very deliberate intrusion of the home of a Palestinian woman, the confiscation of her most intimate apparel.
God. It's like, in like the old Vietnam films, they got their photo, like, during their, like, at the nights at the bonfire, giving the peace sign and stuff. It's like, yeah, see? It's like, when they're old and they have their little, like, reunion at the bar. It's like, yeah, they get to share their war photos.
Nah, this is okay. They're
Didn't mean to
white.
do that. Go back. No. is it doing?
Is position. His hands are bound. Power, and the prisoner who is in this case
Gotta
not only
get
on the
to
ground and tied
the
up, but
buddy war
completely
photo of
powerless.
the brawl.
The images are showing us and telling us
Sector of the Israeli official machinery, where all Palestinians are the enemy.
Here.
And flaunting that in a way that's definitely intended to be provocative and humiliating.
The videos further reinforce a
I mean, it's vindictiveness, and it was kind of like after 9/11. And a good documentary is from Westmore with Fahrenheit 9/11, where it's just it's like it was this kind of like non sequitur response of okay, they killed thousands of Americans, so we're gonna go in and conduct this boondoggle of a war, and it's just to set things right. We're gonna cause the death of like all these pedestrians in response, and it like at first it was Democrats and Republicans, and like not just the politicians, but also like much of the populace was for the war initially, even Iraq. So that's the thing. It's just you saw like Trump coming out beating the war drums. They attacked us. Yeah, we're gonna go to war with them, and people were like vandalizing like Islamic families, like own like family businesses, and it's just treating people like they're a board, and it's this kind of like national sort of like vindictive, and that's what it is. It's another like sort of Fahrenheit 9/11 kind of scenario where it's like, fuck them, they wronged us, so it's okay for us to wrong them. We're like they slapped us, we're gonna slap them back, and I think like that's what they're doing. It's just this pure vindictiveness. Yeah, fuck them. And you can tell, like, when I ask those questions and, like, Reddit and Quora, and you get these responses, you can tell, like, it does mirror the, like, how Americans were after 9/11 with, like that great level of vindictiveness. Fuck them. They had this great level of spite. No, it's not a genocide. They're using them as shields.
Course that is coming out of every...
I mean... It's kind of like that modesty. I'm in that scenario. Reach for the watch, pull the lever. It's just I was like 8 years old at the time, or not even 8. I was like 6 years old when 9/11 happened, and it's just wasn't old enough to really grasp what was going on. But then it's like you look at how people were, and that yeah, I'll get to him. But it's like it's just that level of animosity and vitriol. It's like if I was a like 18-year-old, 26-year-old at the time, would I not have that like great level of spite? And you look at that, it's fucked up, but it's also you see that sort of collided rate. And now looking back, it seems like a large percentage of Americans don't have that attitude anymore. It seems like the popular opinion is that our response wasn't right. Going to Afghanistan, Iraq, it was a mistake. Having that attitude definitely wasn't right, and it just seems like it's the same thing. They want they want to set things right, an eye for an eye. Go ahead, Dirt.
I just wanted to give you a heads up, John. This will probably be the last video I can participate in.
How long have we been going?
If I come to bed much later, Danny will literally cut my head off and try to put it up my anus, which where it will not fit because
how long
it doesn't work that way.
Have we gone tonight? God,
is she part mantis?
Doesn't show it on the phone. How long have we been going? Somebody show me that, because if I look at the...
I'll tell you. I'll fucking tell you, John. It's been 3 hours and 23 minutes.
Okay, let's get through. At least let's get through the Israel-Gaza genocide, and then
I can get through this video.
Okay. And after that, we'll probably do another stream tomorrow to make up for it. And unlike tonight, where I did everything last minute with OBS, I'll actually take my time to do my homework tomorrow.
Look, John, I don't know what your plan is for tomorrow, but I've been itching to play some fucking Baldur's Gate, dude. We need to get back to it. We started it and never finished it. I mean, whatever, you got a lot of play job, we got a lot of PPP to do, but Baldur.
Wait, John, what if we get Trubisky back in?
He won't.
Yeah, he won't.
He won't. He's grinding. Let me see what he's doing. I'm gonna look at him right now.
He's playing fucking GTA. He's got 72,600.
Dude, did you hear that?
We're gonna get a copyright strike from Shabisky.
He said, "Okay, all right, I'm making you a mod too." I love when he does that. When he tells people they're a mod and he doesn't. I love that shit.
Yeah, like everyone's fucking asking for a mod. Like,
yeah, just make it.
And then he's like, "Look, he literally tells." So for a while he wasn't doing it, but I was playing into it. And I'm like, "Wow, you're a mod. Welcome, dude. That's awesome." But he I don't know. He just he could be a mod too. He's just handing out mod left and right. I don't know. I love Shab. Play the Israeli genocide
be eliminated, and you see it manifested in that kind of joie de vivre. You know, the soldiers are expressing as they destroy Palestinian homes, and there is a consumption of this kind of image that kind of fortifies the anger, the hatred, the anti-Palestinian sentiment, and the kind of complete disregard of the humanity of Palestinian civilians.
There's such a high level of confidence among these IDF soldiers that they can do whatever they want.
I don't think it's confident. Well, maybe part of it's that. I think it's vindictiveness.
Say to the whole world, look at what we're doing to Palestinians in Gaza.
Yeah, fuck them.
Brutalizing
fuck them.
Palestinians. Look at how we're humiliating every single man, woman, and child as we destroy their homes, set fire to them, and make fun of it. And they are provoking and challenging the whole world to say we can't do this.
The thing is, it's just kind of like ethically, yeah, what Hamas did was fucked up. There's no way to justify it. And it's like if Hamas wanted to show the world or whatever, that they're not a terrorist group, and if they wanted to show the world that, hey, look at what they're doing to us, we're the more peaceful side, that's probably the last thing they should have done. It's probably they should be just reaching out to any country that wants to help them, give them resources for education stuff, and be like, hey, we're not going to militarize ourselves. We're going to, I don't know, like build a very decent shipping trade, whatever. I mean, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but but with Israel, if they want to show that, hey, Hamas, they're terrorists, look at what they're doing, we're going to show that we're the more ethical group, well, they're failing at that. And it's just more of a scenario of, like, it's just, you don't, like, undo one evil by, like, following through with another evil.
We can get away with it.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
And no one in the world can stop us. No Israeli has found themselves.
Neither side, neither government, the IDF or faction, the IDF or Hamas, is showing that they're the bigger person.
Sanctioned by the international community, by countries that have these tools, which again has only reinforced belief of Israel.
I'm tired of living through history, John. I just want things to be quiet. I want to, maybe I should just build a cabin in the mountains and quit doing the PPP and never look at the news again.
Well, what is it? It's like the red ocean of, like, the invisible hand. It's like no one else really seen. Everyone else is offering, like, the locales, going over Shanny and crap like that. And then we'll get people who do those streams, then they come onto this and they're like, oh my god, this is so depressing. It's like, look at what you're covering. It's like, hey, they're covering that. That's what they're, like, it seems, that's the inflated sort of market. There's much more of a demand than there's supply for it and everything, or supply than there is demand for it. So here, it's like, how many misanthropic streams are there where we dive deep at all the fucked up elements of our society and humanity? We're probably, like, I don't know too many streamers, too many podcasts that really go this deep into.
Maybe we should just call it the Misanthrope Podcast.
They are exempted from.
I don't know. I mean, that's what it's come to.
Laws that they are above the law.
I mean, maybe that's why, like, people, like, Missy is like, geez, the movies you watch. Why do you watch things that are so bleak and stuff? And maybe it's because it kind of it allows you to open your eye. It allows you to pay attention to. It's like the reality of things. And it does kind of give you perspective. Like, I find that I had a fucked up childhood, but I watch stuff like this, and it's like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to dwell over that, and I can go on. It's like,
yeah, at least, shit could be worse, right, John?
I'm the martyr. I'm the flagellant. I'm here. to kind of dive into this stuff.
Yeah, they declined.
Since the beginning of this genocidal war, reservists have been called up. And who are the reservists? They are the entire proportion of the Israeli society. There are teachers, professors, students, doctors, medics, artists, writers, journalists. These images, they are not only directed to a small audience, they are directed to a broad audience. There's a long practiced history of racializing.
Look at those fucking edgelords.
And dehumanizing Palestinians. These images and these videos entirely show
how... There we go. No, I don't want to go to a site.
Israeli violence is also not only directed towards Palestinian livelihood, but also their material beings, so their houses, their belongings, eliminating Palestinian existence. History has taught us that the dehumanization of subjects is essential to the infliction of violence. I think Israel has perfected this in discourse and in practice, but this is not new. It dates back to the beginning of this state.
Look at those man titties.
Well, those are military-aged men, so, I mean, I don't know. Probably, when people talk about all the captives, the casualties and stuff, I mean, yeah, people discount the fact that a lot of them are just Hamas. Now, to be fair, what percentage of these do you think? Maybe some of them, maybe half. Even if it's 75%, it's just still 20%, 10%, 1%'s too much.
Beginning of this state, through which.
But how much of this is like pent up rage from like, oh, our people during World War II and biblical times, and they're just letting it out now because they can.
Yeah, it's like what I said. It's not just like, look at how America was after 9/11, and they're blinded by that fucking rage, and that seems to be that here. And then you mention that, like, not to, and it's like in America, you look at like slavery and stuff, and of course you had Jim Crow laws, and you have a lot of animosity over that, and it is significant. It's not that, like, even like with slavery, when people are like, oh, get over it's in the past, it's not that long ago. It still has that notable trickle-down effect, where, like, what was going on, like several generations ago, still has, like, a very notable, like, footprint on what's going on. It's not ancient history. And, like, what you look at, like, when you see, it's this revolving door. It's just, it has this domino effect where, it's the Rube Goldberg machine of one evil apparatus, like, triggering another evil apparatus. And I think, they, like, it's what you said. It's not just the pent-up rage over the terrorist attack that happened. It's also that kind of longer, gradual pent-up rage. So and imagine, like, you look at what Hamas did and people are arguing. It's like, well, look at what they're doing to Gaza, turning it into a giant prison and stuff. And I mean, still, it doesn't justify what they did, but it's like just humanity, these evils. It has this kind of circulating sort of synergy. It's just, yeah. It's
God.
That's why I'm very misanthropic.
Yeah, Trubisky just
sucks.
fucking. Trubisky just posted his Discord link in his chat. So
in my chat?
No, in his chat.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
Because it's fucking a bunch of kids, basically.
Whatever. But yeah, like if he did in my chat, I don't care. I always troll him. Post stuff in his chat.
And effectively, forcibly disappear.
Thanks for watching. Now hit that like button and leave.
Yeah, hit my like button.
Don't tell me what to do, old man.
Okay, so I think we
hit that like button,
and
like and subscribe. Thanks for coming along for the fucking ride. It's been a pleasure. My name is Dirt. I'm here at my leisure.
Yeah, and hopefully what we've covered helps you sleep at night. See you next time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. More wonderful content. Adios, people.